What is up, everybody? Welcome
What's up,
back.
Gabe?
What's up, Michael? Another great Saturday with my buddy Michael. Love it, man.
Yes, man, always, it's the best time of my week, Gabe, hooking up with you, brother. I text you today, man. I can't wait to hook up with my brother tonight and hang out. It's always fun, and it's pretty cool because we were able to do a show which was not the normal deal that we did on a Wednesday evening.
Right.
Cool because we still have Saturday, and I had so many people reaching out. Are y'all going to still do the Saturday show? And I'm like, absolutely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But absolutely.
Well, everybody, welcome to Collection Wars once again. We got a really great show tonight. I am very, very excited. So far, we got a bunch of our buddies here already on here. Dane up in here. Evan the Collector's up in here. Dark Knight Archives. Juan. Hey, did we miss you, Juan? I know you were there for the last time, but I think we missed you the Saturday before that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we did. I don't know. Something, he must have had his appendix taken out or something because Juan, boy, he's here every time.
Every time, I know. Yeah. Harry, what's going on? David, hello.
Yeah, what's up, David? Good to see you again, buddy.
Got Lee. Hey, Lee, look at that. Look at that.
Hey, Lee, come on, buddy. And hey, a big shout out to Lee for sending me this awesome this shirt here, and the guys at the cargo hold. Thank you so much. And just so you know, got one coming right back to you.
There you go, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Lee. Appreciate you.
There you go. Got Wayne Butler, got Robbie up in here. Man, we got a lot of our buddies here.
Yeah, they're excited.
Awesome. So we got a very special guest today. And we're gonna have Joseph join us. So let's bring Joseph on really quick. Let's get him on here. What's up, Joseph? How you doing?
Guys, it's great to see you guys tonight.
Hey, I remember you.
I know.
Yeah, what I want to know is that Lee's been on the show like once or twice, and he's getting a T-shirt. I'm still waiting for mine.
You got one coming, brother. Hey,
I know.
Send me your address, brother. Just as long as you're under an XL, you're good to go.
All right, guys. So today we have Matt. Our buddy Matt has one of the best 1/6 collections that I've seen personally. I know a lot of you guys have seen his Star Wars stuff, but it doesn't stop there. Okay, it's way beyond Star Wars. So let's bring him on. Matt, what is up, Matt? How you doing?
What's up, my guys?
Hey,
how's everybody doing today?
Matt, how are you doing, brother?
I'm good. Thank you, Michael. How are you?
Good, buddy.
Good to see Joseph.
Hey, Matt.
Gabe, how are you?
Good. How are you, Matt?
I'm excellent.
Hey, before we get started, Gabe, I just got to tell you, I know you're familiar with it, but it's really, really cool. And this is what we've talked about numerous times in regards to collection wars and what this genre is all about and what we've been able to do, which is tie friendships.
Yeah.
And, it's crazy what a small little platform that we have. And I have, before we even decided to move forward, and I even knew that Matt was around, Joseph tells me about how they sat down and had a nice little dinner together. And it's crazy, the community and the camaraderie. And man, he's lucky because to be able to find a guru like you that's into the collecting world so close and to be able to meet up, and how Joseph and Matt's been able to meet up. And by the way, no disrespect, Matt, but man, have you thought about getting on some vitamins? You're kind of a scrawny little dude.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, man. I've neglected a little bit.
It's okay,
buddy. I've walked away from the diet a little bit, and I know I need a little more work. And I appreciate that, Michael. I will ask you for some advice.
You look great, dude.
Listen, every time I call Matt, he's like, "Hey, I'm at the gym. Can we talk later?"
Yeah.
I know. Matt's gonna be, every time he refers to Joseph, he's gonna be like, "Oh, that piece right over there,
right there.
This is the one right over there. Let me tell you about that one over there."
You guys are crazy.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to show you guys. I've already had the privilege to see part of Matt's collection, and I'm telling you, you guys are gonna be in for a treat tonight.
Yeah.
So let's jump in. Matt, I think normally, obviously you're into Star Wars, but you're also into a bunch of franchises.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about what you collect. Tell us about you, what got you into Star Wars and all collecting.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course I'm 50. So, I mean, I was around in 77 when the movie first came out, New Hope, and I was hooked. I mean, it was from the opening montage to, the escape pod scene to the cantina. And as soon as we got to the cantina, I was sold. I loved it. I've never seen anything like that, obviously, at such a young age. And the George Lucas and ILM and everybody just did such a phenomenal job with what they had at that time. It was amazing. I mean, they basically did everything from nothing. And I was hooked. I've been an addict ever since. I can't stop. So
Matt, did you start collecting the original figures?
Yeah, I did. I was a spoiled, rotten little kid. I was I was the last of 6.
Yeah.
And all my brothers and sisters were out of the house by the time I was pretty much born. I only lived with one of them for a short amount of time before he left. And so my mom, she did. I mean, my dad, they spoiled me. And so every time they went to the store, or anytime they went shopping, they always brought back a Star Wars figure. And after 5 or 6 years of that, I had quite the vintage collection. I mean, I really had. I wasn't carding them or anything. Everything was, out of the package and loose. But I was a very OCD kid, and I spent probably more time posing them and setting up scenes and then taking pictures of those scenes than I did, actually playing with them. So they were never worn, and they didn't get like broken or dirty or anything like that. I was very careful and protective of them. So we had a game room in my family's home, and so in the downstairs there was a bar and a big TV and a place to sit and watch and hang out, and on the side there was a pool room. So we had this big pool table, and no one could ever use it because I kept building like the Hoth scene, and I put the Hoth scene together with the AT-AT, and and no, you can't touch it, and don't leave it alone. And my brother's like, well, hey, we'd like to play some pool, and I'm like, well, damn, can't you see I'm doing something here?
That's awesome, man.
That's funny.
I mean, it was I loved it. It was man, they were the best toys because you could go to the store back then and all the aisles were filled. Yeah. It wasn't like Target now where you'd go and scalpers have just pretty much just cleaned them bare. I mean, back in the early 80s, you could go into a Fred Meyer's or Payless or something like that, and there would be a 18, 20-foot aisle stacked with everything, and you could buy whatever you want. It wasn't difficult to find, and so it was really easy getting everything.
Did you? Oh, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, Matt, I never get tired. I'm 51 years old, hearing those stories because I relate so much. And it's crazy because you hear about the kids that, I blew mine up with firecrackers or whatever the story is. But I was that same guy, Matt. I set my stuff up. I played a little bit, but I was all about the display. Isn't that kind of ironic? But I was about the display and getting all of the characters. It's the same story.
Make sure they're all in the right place, and then take that picture, and then I'd want to just leave it there, and I wouldn't want to let anybody touch it. It's like 9 or 10 years old. I owned that basement. No one could go.
Exactly.
I think it's funny that we all 4 of us had that experience as children. In the sense that, we used to display our toys rather than play with them. Yeah. And I bet you that most of the people who are now adult collectors were like that as children.
Yeah.
And it shows, I think. Yeah. Look at these beautiful backgrounds that we got on today's show. That's amazing.
I mean, it has directly everything to do with how I put everything together. I mean, it's, and like we were speaking earlier, Gabe, your room was the first room that I saw on a forum that was put together like that, and it was when I first started collecting Hot Toys and 1/6 scale stuff and Sideshow.
Yeah.
So I was just new at that time, and so I really didn't know how I wanted to I had no idea how I wanted to put my room together. I didn't have any kind of schematics or any kind of plan. And so I started just searching and looking at, and then I saw yours, and I was like, wow, this is beautiful. I love the way you use your black cabinets with the one single light that sort of gives each piece its own spotlight in your room. I really appreciate the way you put it together, because it's very sophisticated and classy. And Michael, my God, I mean, who has a 3,000 square foot showroom? I mean, that's amazing, dude. I mean, it's the same size as my house, for God's sakes. And, you inspire me a lot too, because your enthusiasm for all this is really infectious, and it's I love it, because I even though I know I'll never probably be able to achieve anything like that, but I get ideas from it, from the way you do your walls and stuff like that. I'm kind of in the process of doing that to my basement right now. So seeing your room gives me so many ideas, and the way you put it together, man, it's just hats off, brother. That's amazing.
Thank you for that, Matt. Inspiration is what this channel's about, inspiring. And it's crazy, because I know Gabe for sure is the same way as I am, and Joseph as well. But when it comes to being inspired, like Lee, and I've been talking to him all week about the way he's displayed like some of his helmets and everything, and I want to do the same thing. And you'd think, looking at a certain collection that I have, but and you said it a second ago, it's the way Gabe, has the black backgrounds and how it showcases each individual piece.
Yeah.
I think that's so important if you're a collector out there, because you want to, like me, I've got, so many items like Joseph, and what he does, so many items. And what's so important is how each individual piece is showcased to give it its own bling and its own Shazam.
Its own moment in the room. Its own, so like when you're looking at pieces, it's not like you're looking at a cluster of anything at one time. It's singularly put together, and it's nice.
I mean, if you have two, I'm sorry, Joseph, if you have three items and they're showcased brilliantly, that's all you need. Save the rest of the money, put it in your pocket, and you're happy, because you're looking at those three beautiful showcase pieces.
I tell that to people all the time. Like I'll be talking to people on different forums and stuff, and they're they'll come say something about the volume of what I got, and I'm like, and they're like, well, I don't even have anything to show. I don't have enough to show, and I'm like, it's not really about the amount or the volume or the degree of how much you have. It's how you decide to show it. I mean, you can take a corner in your room, or you can take a corner in your living room, or even in the hallway or something. And if you do it right, you can make it look museum. You can take you can take $1,000 collection and make it look like a $20,000 room if you do it right.
In fact, it's the opposite when you have a huge volume of pieces, right? Because when you have too many, it's very easy for everything to look cluttered, and it becomes a big challenge to try and curate the collection in such a way that everything looks good and stands out.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, jeez.
No, but I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that, because that's why we started Collection Wars, because we wanted to show collectors and inspire people to show the different types of collection. That's why we don't like to just focus on one certain type of collection. You
guys do a really good job.
We want to do every type, and I think you are the best choice for getting into the 1/6 scale, because I've actually, I don't know if you remember, but I actually reached out to you about maybe last year or so, probably mid last year, about using some of your pictures in one of my videos for the display stuff. So just because immediately, as soon as you see your display, it is beautiful. And again, I think it's just, when you look at it, the way you said it, it shows, that you take pride in it. And that's another big thing.
Well, we spend lots of money on these things. I mean, we spend, I mean, I can't speak for Joseph, but I know that, you know, I spend a shitload of money. You know, as far as like, if you compare what I make to what I spend a shitload of money on this stuff. And, you know, and so I'm not trying to put down people who, you know, just casually kind of throw things up on a shelf. But like, as I was saying before, you know, this is art, and it's a representation of our interpretation of art, you know, and so, you know, I mean, it deserves a place of, you know, sophistication, like your room. It deserves to be seen in the same light that you would spend on a $5,000 painting. That Rancor is the same thing, and if not more, because it's only 83 made. So when you get something like that, I mean, you know, it deserves it. It deserves that, and it deserves its own place. And
well,
so
they're not just pieces of art; they're pieces of narrative history for us, right? Because they represent something
lineage,
just something beautiful to look at.
And Matt, and as far as like you're like collecting, what led you into collecting Hot Toy? You know what I mean? Like the 1/6 scale. Did you? I mean, obviously you had your vintage stuff.
I did. You know, so this is the human side of collecting. You know, it's you know, it wasn't always fun. Okay, so I had a large collection, and a lot of it was vintage, and you know, I had a lot of stuff from 77 till 91, and about that time I entered college, and I kind of stopped collecting. I was playing ball, and I was in college, and I put that stuff to a side, and I kind of put that whole part of my life to a side because I had other aspirations, and so when I was able to get my own home and I was able to gather all those things, me and my father built a showroom for all of that stuff. And it was my first home. And I was on a budget. And so I had a decision to make. I was either to buy an AC unit or fix the inside of the house up. And it was towards the end of the summer. And so I'll wait till the next year. I don't need the AC unit. I'll do the inside. Well, part of the problem was the house had baseboard heating, and one night I was sick, and I went into my bedroom and I took some Theraflu, and I went to sleep. My wife got done doing a bunch of laundry, and she stuck it on top of the couch, and she went to go visit her mother, and our cat got the laundry stuck somehow, knocked it over, and got stuck between the couch and the baseboard heating, and my whole house went up. So by the time when I woke up to my bay windows getting blown out from the heat in my living room, and I went to open up the door, and my whole living room was engulfed. Luckily, I had a back deck where my bedroom was that I was able to get out of, or I wouldn't have been able to get out of the house. And I watched my house and my entire collection and everything I owned go up in flames, and it was gone. Yeah, and that was, I mean, at the time I was more concerned, you know, about just losing my house. You know, the collection was on the side of my brain, obviously, but it was losing the house that was obviously the major tragedy of all this. But, you know, and after everything was all said and done, and the insurance, and, you know, we're building the new house and stuff like that, you know, that's when I started realizing, that, oh, wow, I don't have any of that stuff left. It's gone. I don't have anything. I have nothing to show for it. I have no pictures. Nothing. And it hurt. It was sad. And it took a long time, because I was like, I'm never going to do this again, because I felt like, you know, how am I going to get all that stuff back? You know, even back then when it wasn't really all that expensive, it was still, that would be a chore to find everything that I owned and then rebuy it again. It would have been very tough.
It was yours though, too. That was yours.
Yeah, it was all mine. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so the cherry on the top there was that was the same year that my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer. And so on top of all that, we're looking for a place to stay as our insurance company is building our new house, and she's going through chemo. And it was a really, really dark period of my life. And actually, I stopped doing everything I loved, which was collecting and lifting and everything. And all I did was just work and take care of my wife, and everything else just kind of got put to the side. You know, eventually she did succumb. and she passed. And that was in 2014. And so it was probably like 3 or 4 months after that, I started, messing around on Facebook again, and I started looking at people's collections, and I started noticing these Hot Toys and these sideshow pieces. And I remember seeing a few of them, like, like in 2008, 2009, but I wasn't buying anything like that then. Mm-hmm. And I think the first figure that I bought when I saw them was the DX-07 Luke Skywalker at the Bespin. And it came in 2 pieces from Hot Toys. And it came with the battle damage version and the clean version. And it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. It was so detailed, and the sculpt was so beautiful, and it was nothing like anything that I'd ever seen before. Because I collected GI Joes and stuff like that, and those sculpts are horrible. But these things were so realistic. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And so I kind of started delving in at that point, and it really kind of it was nice because it took me away from those dark thoughts of everything that was happening. It was really therapeutic. I got to kind of start meeting people that I wasn't really going out of my way to meet because I just didn't really feel like it at the time. And things just started getting better, financially better. And then next thing you know, I'm buying Hot Toys, and I'm buying Hot Toys a lot because I really like them. And that's kind of what started it. So it was nice because I lost that initial collection, which hurt so bad, but then I found kind of actually this other thing that I like better, and I think I mean, as much as I know there's a vintage crowd out there, and don't get me wrong, and I love vintage, and I think that stuff should be presented just like art, just like anything else, but to me this was cooler than that, and I really connected with it. I like the realism of it, to be able to feel it, the touch, the how delicate and precise all the accessories were made. It's a product that I actually just absolutely fell in love with, and I just put the gas pedal down and just started going 80 miles an hour for it. So and here I am now. And so this is probably an accumulation of about, I would say, 7 or 8 years. So yeah.
So you agree that you do have an addiction?
Yeah. And mind you, Joseph is one of the worst crack addicts. That guy. So here, listen, let me tell you something.
I'm a pusher, not an addict.
The friendship fee for Joseph is about $3,500. Because that's how much you have to buy before he'll start talking to you.
That's not true.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
Well, look, Matt. I mean, obviously, our condolences, and it must have been really tough going through that.
It was. I mean, I wouldn't talk about it now if it wasn't easy to do it now, but it was a very devastating.
I appreciate you sharing that so much. I'm sure that's really inspirational, I think, for a lot of collectors, and again, putting it out there, I think a lot of people are.
Well, those kind of things happen, and some people never go back to it, and I was lucky enough to be able to find that spark again, and it did. It was a spark that turned to a flame that turned into a bonfire. So and now, with that being said, wait until you see his collection, and you're gonna have a different appreciation for what you're gonna about to see with that backstory. I'm telling you. I think let's start, because we have a lot of pictures to get through, and I want to get through all of them. So this is Matt. So that's looking. So if you were to walk into the door would be on the left side of that picture, and so you walk in, and that's the first thing how you will see as soon as you turn the corner into the room.
That is amazing.
That cockpit is freaking huge, bro.
It is, Michael.
I mean, when when Joseph got his, I was like, oh yeah, and I've got mine on order, but holy shit, that thing is.
It was. So when Hot Toys first announced that they was teasing this thing,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
They did it at a toy fair, I believe.
Yeah, I remember.
And I saw it, and I was like, oh my God, I have got to have that. That's amazing. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. And it was so engineered well. It looks so cool, lit LEDs, all that kind of stuff. And then those guys never made it. And it was like, I think that would have sold so fast. I mean, maybe they wouldn't have been able to make any money because it was such a big piece, but I don't know. I'm really disappointed that they never did it. But then Jazz Ink Dioramas, they decided to take upon themselves to do things that other companies are not doing, and they made that. And you know, it's not a flawless piece, but it's a beautiful piece. And if you have a Hot Toys collection, you really should have this in it, because it's a center point, and it's actually beautiful. And like I said, it's not flawless. Like, I don't think anything can be flawless when you're doing custom work like that, but it's really beautiful, and it displays. Now, displays great.
Matt, did you have it repainted, or did it come out? Because the ones I've seen them, they're a little bit darker, but maybe it's just the way the light.
People have asked me about that, because a lot of the guys got theirs darker now, and I remember having a conversation with Hust about probably about a year before he started fully going into production with this thing, and I remember talking to him, asking him personally if I could have a lighter color. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but I know that a lot of people were disappointed because the color was a little bit darker than they had anticipated.
Actually, mine is. I found that it was darker than I expected when I opened it, but no one knows that, because every time I take a photo of it, it looks like yours.
Right.
Yeah.
And so no one knows what it looks like in real life, because the light balance, on the camera always adjusts, and it makes it look this way.
And it very well could just lighten it up with the pictures that I've been taking. But the pictures that I have seen, I don't know. Some do distinctly look a little bit darker than mine. But it very could be the lighting.
Look at that. So beautiful. I mean, it just set up so nicely. I really love how you split up. So you have the what are they called? The glass,
the detops.
The detops, but then you space them out with a pedestal.
Yeah, my friend TJ Rhodes. He actually he's one of my lifting partners, but he's a great carpenter. And I had asked. I was looking for pedestals, and they were brand new ones were expensive. So I said, hey, can you make these? And he's like, well, what are they? And I go, well, they're just pedestals, just hollow wooden pedestals. And he's like, yeah, sure, I can do that. And so he measured them out for me, and he built those for me, and he laminated it for them, so they're all laminated. They're actually really nice. Yeah, he did a really good job. And he's if you look in the far left corner of the room, he does little taller, skinnier ones for singular figures too. You can see the Boba Fett on it in the back. He does those, and he did a really good job on them.
Did he also do the one that the cockpit is on?
No, actually, a lot of the display cases that I find, like the odd shaped ones, like the triangular one that the cockpit is on, and the octagon shaped ones, I found those on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I would just the triangular one was actually a Nike display piece for Kobe Bryant's last shoe release.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so this guy, I think he obviously went to Nike and probably bought up a bunch of stuff that they weren't using, and he had a warehouse full of it. And I saw those pieces, and I was like, "Oh, those would be great for displaying." And they were all white, so I just basically stripped them down and painted them black and used them as a column.
That looks so cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Gabe.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, did Matt send you, because Ryan was asking about some close-up pics of that. If we don't have them, you can definitely go to Jazz Inc. and check them out in detail.
Oh yeah.
I think they're coming up.
Okay.
So, Matt, is there any specific kind of organization that you have them? Like, are you doing it by movie or by theme or?
Yeah, I kind of I started the room. Initially, I started the room with the original trilogy on the right-hand side, and I put sort of the the prequels in the on the left. But as you can see, I was running out of room, and so there is some Mitch, like there you'll see the speeder, the biker scout from Empire Strikes Back on the side of the prequels, and when I get my other room done, they won't be like that. Everything will kind of have its own. Like I will do it like by movie in a way. It's kind of chronologically as you go down the hallway. But in this room, I was unable to do that.
Yeah. I love this Bespin scene right here.
Oh
yeah, that was the first purchase I made.
Oh, that's
beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love that figure.
One of my favorites for sure.
Poses so well, and it's really cool because you can actually underneath it, where on the Bespin, what do you call it, like the vac opens up that he's hanging from, you can actually take that off, and it has a reverse screws, so you can put them into the ceiling, and it can actually hang from the ceiling. And it looks really cool that way too.
I love how you have the Jabba scene too, where you got
that's my favorite. That's my favorite display piece. I did all those out of by 4 by 6 by 16 cinder caps, and I just painted them black. And so I built the base and everything with that, and just used laminated boards for the shelving. And that Rancor actually is really cool. It's not as obviously screen accurate as the Regal Robot one, but they did a really good job on it, and it really holds its own in that room. It's not completely 1/6 scale, but it's close enough that when you put it up next to everything, it looks really, really cool.
It's pretty damn close.
They did a really good job on it. I mean, like I said, like the paint job, like I said, is not as good as Regal's, obviously, but it's actually a really impressive piece if you saw it in person.
I think they're two different. It's for two different type of collectors.
Of course, yeah, you're right, Michael. It is. And for two different reasons.
That's
so
right.
But that sideshow piece it has a lot of presence because it's huge.
It is. It came in 2 boxes. And you have to bolt the arms and the torso and the head together. The shell on the back comes off, and it's hollow, but everything else is solid.
Beautiful, man. So here's a couple close-ups. Look at that. That one's awesome.
That's the IG-11 from The Mandalorian.
That's a very
cool figure.
How long have you had yours?
I just got that a couple months ago, but I did have the sideshow version. And it's pretty cool, but it's really flimsy and not even as sturdy as this one. The lower legs from the knees down are actually die cast.
Yeah.
So it makes it very sturdy.
You're talking about the sideshow, the IG-88, the original bounty.
Yeah, the IG-88 original is all plastic, and it's not a bad piece, but it's a little flimsy after a few years of being displayed. But this one is a really solid piece, really posable.
Mine feels like plastic. I don't know what you mean by so.
So like if you feel not the whole leg, Michael, but like if you on the kneecap, from the kneecap inside, there's some die cast on there that holds it a little bit. Are you looking at your sideshow piece, or are you looking at the Hot Toys piece?
This is This is the Hot Toys.
Yeah.
Have you got your speeder bike Mandalorian yet?
I do.
I love it.
Yeah, let's see it. Hold on, let me put you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So I got him punching Grogu.
Oh, you got a couple of
them. I got 2 of them.
That's badass.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So those triangular Nike ones, I got 2 of them. So I put one on each side of the octagon that's holding the Falcon.
That is so cool.
It's so crazy that you can. There's so many different aspects of Star Wars collecting, right? And we've never really done a show, Gabe. I'm so excited that we're doing this one on the Hot Toys.
Yeah.
And so like the 1/6 scale. It's a really fun collection.
Yeah. Hey Matt,
it is. Also, I mean,
yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, Gabe.
I was going to ask you because you also have a bunch of ships on top, right? Are those?
I do. Most of those are all Hasbro. They're not. They're not studio scale, as much as I would like them to be. But yeah, those are just ones that I've accumulated over the last last few years. I just, they were basically kind of filler pieces.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was speaking to Joseph actually not too long ago, and we were talking about, I've been wanting to kind of upscale the room a little bit, and I really enjoy the Hasbro ships and everything, but as your collection grows and you want it to get better, and you get inspired by other people like you and Michael and Gabe, and I want to fill those spaces with different stuff, like maybe prop replicas and some EFX helmets and stuff like that. That's kind of what I've been getting into since I've met Joseph and Lee. That's what I was trying to refer to.
Stop blaming me, man.
The friendship fee is about $3,500.
You're gonna start getting those text messages from Joseph. Hey, check this out. Look at this.
Yeah, all the time, man. Hey, listen. Since meeting Lee and Joseph, I've bought the Sid Mead concept gun from Blade Runner. Then I bought the original one. You always say the word. I can't.
Tomenasuke.
Thank you. And then Lee talks me into getting the Beskar spear from JJ Industries, and so it's like, oh man, I said, there's a friendship fee, but it's all good. It's okay.
Speaking of the ships that you have, you got to tell us about your Falcon, because I was shocked when I found out
that was just the Legacy Falcon.
Yeah.
That's the Falcon that's in the Octagon. That's just the 2008 Legacy Falcon, the BMF.
No.
Yeah, it's actually a really nice piece. I've seen a lot of people customize them. They'll tear them all apart from the core and then just repaint everything, and they look beautiful. They're actually, it's not screen accurate, but it looks cool when they do it. It really does. And but then again, there's Joseph. He introduced me to
Joseph.
He introduced me to the what company was that? It was on Toys Wonderland.
I'm blanking on the name. They make a studio. They make a 3-foot long Millennium.
Yeah. And so I got in touch. I got in touch with him, and so I'm trying to schedule maybe getting something through Toys Wonderland, and it's going to be the. Why can't I say the name of it? I can't remember the name of that company.
I'm blanking myself.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But
I just realized
isn't it the mail away one where they mail it away and they get parts? Is that
D'Agostini?
Yeah, the D'Agostini. Yeah. But there was another company that did it looked like it was already built. Like they bought the D'Agostini, did the mold, and then built it and painted it.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of them. But I mean he's an influence.
Okay. Hey, real quick, okay? Because I've got my Chewy like you have there, which I love. How did you? I missed out on that 3PO with the. Where did that come from? Is that a custom?
So do you remember the Kenner C3PO that came in that box set with a book, and it had the net and the broken C3PO? It's a really cheap set from Kenner, and that's all it is. It's just a 12-inch set from Kenner, and it has the net, and you can break the C3PO all in different parts. And so I bought 3 different A New Hope Chewbacca's for Hot Toys, because the Force Awakens one is a horrible design. They should never have even made it. It doesn't look very good, but the New Hope one looks really good. And so I bought 3 of them, and so I put one with Solo, and then I made one with the Bespin. When C3PO was all in pieces and he was putting them together. That's like one of my favorite scenes of that movie, so that's why I did it.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. You've seen the Saturday Night Live commercial for Star Wars collectors, where the guy's like, I always buy 3, one to display, one to keep in the box, and one just in case.
Yeah, that's awesome how you did that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got like you like 20 of those damn little
Grogu's. Well, now it seems like every single Mandalorian figure comes with one now.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool, dude. How you kind of made
really
it cool. That's
Thank
really
you.
cool.
Oh, here's the close-up.
That's the inside of the cockpit of that Jazik dioramas.
Look at that.
Falcon,
That's
and
beautiful.
it is. Yeah, 300 and over 300 LEDs in there.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Matt, you mentioned earlier about Hot Toys and them not following through with that.
Mm-hmm.
And we had this discussion, I think, on an earlier show, but I spoke to the Hot Toys rep about this. Exactly. Why aren't you guys doing these pieces? You're teasing them and then you don't put them out.
Yeah.
And I thought about it. What she said was the problem is with something this complicated, there's going to be a lot of QA QC issues. And imagine you get one of those from Hot Toys and one LED is out of the 300. What are you going to do? You're going to return it.
That's right. that very well might have been part of the reason why they never did it.
Yeah.
Because that would have been hard for a large company to produce a mass amount of those.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many Jazz Inc. did, but I don't think it was more than maybe 30 or 40 of them.
Well, he had a big problem too, right? His first batch that went out.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact number, but it was like 80%. It was a large number of them were broken when they arrived to the
canopy.
He had to redesign the whole structure for the next wave.
Yep.
Yeah.
He did. He's really good though with the customers though. As far as fixing mistakes and making sure that things go right. He's actually a really good communicator. We as we've seen over the last few weeks, not everything goes right, and sometimes things go wrong. He's one of the people that will make sure that the right thing is handled, and he does it very gracefully and professionally. So,
I love these pictures that you took, by the way, Matt. I love the
angles,
and I love the way you posed them, and like little details like that. Like he's got the dice in his hand. Really cool detail.
Where did the headset come from?
Those came from the New Hope Hot Toys 1/6 scale Han Solo and Chewbacca. They both came with headsets.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't display them with them in the case, so I just put them in the Falcon.
Very cool.
I get that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that scene.
Yeah.
Han's coming around the corner any minute now.
Yeah. Now, Matt, have you considered? I'm assuming you're displaying it with the glass in place, right? Have you considered removing the glass?
I have. In fact, you and I both talked about that. And picture-wise, it's much better to have that out of there. I'm worried about dust. Even though I do have I have a dust control unit. I am a little worried to display it without the canopy glass, but it is for better pictures. And I also am trying to figure out, and we both talked about how to cover up those screws. So,
yeah. I think there's, I believe on the 5 foot, there's some angles in that spot, so you can just add those and it will look out of place.
Yeah. I think, and that's the direction I think I'm gonna go. We talked about that, and I think we both agreed that will look good.
Yeah,
so,
such a cool piece.
It is. I mean, he's doing a lot of stuff. I mean, I've got the octagon that's holding the Falcon is actually is going to be he's building a 1/6 scale snow speeder. And that thing, I honestly think that out of all the things that he's built so far, that's going to be one of his better pieces. It's going to be a masterpiece. That thing is fantastic, and he's putting. Oh, go ahead.
That land speeder too, right? Behind it.
Yeah, that land speeder was the first piece that I bought from Jazz Inc. Dioramas. Yeah. And the cool thing about that is he designed them specifically how people wanted them. He would, if you wanted a dent here, if you wanted it overly weathered, if you want it more brand new looking, he would do whatever you asked. And, cool. and if you're one of the first PO orders, that you get a nameplate and everything with his autograph on it and stuff. So it's really cool.
Yeah,
this guy.
That's one of my favorite figures from the Mandalorian. The heavy Mando. That thing is very well engineered, and the accessories are awesome with that. It's really heavy duty.
Look at that.
Kind of hard to pose, but it's very imposing when you put them next to other figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got mine flying.
Oh yeah, that looks cool. I've seen others do that with their posing theirs with flying. It looks really, really cool.
Try not to make it look like Iron Man shit. Like it was in the movie.
Michael's anti Marvel stuff. Here we go.
Sorry, dude. That's night, man. I'm sorry, all you guys out there watching Loki. Stop.
What are you talking about? It's so good. All right.
Hey, at least he's not playing a Resican flute.
Oh my god.
Keep talking. You guys see what the current bid for that
I know.
is on
it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
45,000, right? Currently,
it was 45 last time I looked.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I didn't believe it until I looked. And I was like, oh, he's not lying.
That's
like,
right.
Yeah.
Keep making fun of the flute. Keep making fun of it.
So this is I love the way you have this set up where it's kind of all the Mandalorian stuff right here.
Yeah. Actually, that's that space right there is where when you look back, you'll see some pictures with a display that has a circular it has like an oval display case.
Yeah,
it has Obi-Wan, the Mythos Obi-Wan. That's actually where that was. I took all that down and rebuilt it because I was running out of room and I needed more space for my Mando stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but
this one's cool too.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. That one and then Dewback.
It is.
Yeah, the sideshow Tauntaun.
That Tauntaun is fantastic. One of my favorite pieces. They made like 2,500 of them, and it was one of the pieces that I missed when my wife was sick. And so I never really thought I was going to ever get a chance to have one because I figured no one would ever sell these. They're going to, they're going to have them and keep them. But I was surprised that it was about a year ago, I finally found one for the price I was willing to pay and I got it. So I was really happy.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
That's what sucks though nowadays with, the Star Wars collecting world. I mean, there's so many enthusiasts like, us and the viewers watching, and man, we have to pay full rates. You got to really be keep an eye out for the good deals are hard to find.
Exactly.
Yeah, get that. That Boba Fett's so cool, man.
That's actually one of my favorite figures too. He's my favorite character in Star Wars. I'm a Boba Fett fan. I think he's if I could be anybody in the Star Wars universe, I would be a bounty hunter. Just trying to make a living in this world.
Yeah. That is really cool. The concept one is so cool looking.
My friend Matt Ukina, as soon as I got the Tauntaun, he goes, "Will you please put the concept Boba Fett on the Tauntaun? I've always wanted to see that." And so that was actually a picture for him. And I know he's watching, Matt Okina, so that's for you, buddy.
That's awesome.
I love the concept Boba Fett, just the fact that they were supposed to make them like elite stormtroopers, right? That was the plan for them. And then kind of scrap that and turn them into a bounty hunter. But imagine how cool a army of stormtroopers that look like Boba. I mean, that would have been cool too.
Yeah. I always wish that Hot Toys would do a McQuarrie line and do all those concept pieces that McQuarrie. I think that I would buy every. Yeah. I think that would be one of the fastest pre-order sellouts that they ever.
Yes. This is cool. The Womp Rat, does that come? Does it come with the loot?
No, that was. There's a Sideshow does a set called a creature piece, and so it comes with like a Womp Rat and like the desert animals that you see in Jabba's palace and stuff like that. Yeah,
I really like that land speeder. It's cool. You have that, Joseph, right?
The land speeder? Yeah. It's a beautiful piece. He did an incredible job on it.
I think it needs more weathering, but it's nice.
Well, and that's the thing, Michael. You could have had it that there's like if you go on other people's forums, you'll see their speeders will look much different than mine, and then some of them had them way more beat up. I think even a couple of them had like cracked windows and stuff like that. So
and it's you could do it to your taste. You could also have it you could weather it more yourself. The thing is, for the price, it's unbeatable.
Yeah,
$350.
That's unbelievable. That's like this guy's not even making money.
If you're a customizer, it's a great canvas to work with when you buy his products. If you want to do something extra to it, he really leaves a lot of room to do, whatever your imagination desires.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my snow speeder custom painted when we get it.
Yeah. Oh, so you ordered? Did you order one, Michael?
I did.
Oh yeah. I think you're gonna love it.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Mike Salzo, my lead builder, a lot of people know who he is.
Yep.
He was actually building one for Wonderfest before COVID. It's kind of on the download. I know he's probably like, "What? Don't be saying that." But anyways, it kind of got scrapped. But I can just imagine what that would look like. And then I sent him pictures. And I'm like, "Hey, there's a guy actually doing one for the 1/6 scale and whatnot." But it's really, really cool.
Matt, it's really great that you pose a lot of your Hot Toys figures with, the dioramas. And I know, Jazz Inc. he makes a lot of these dioramas, but you have other dioramas from other companies that are just incredible.
Well, in this community, a lot of people have the same things. So it's not like these things are, hard to acquire. So I think that the difference is the way you display them. Mm-hmm. And so I always am looking for, private artists who are doing their own kind of diorama pieces. And I've come across several that I've actually purchased things from just to make to make it look better, just to make it look, more presentable and stuff. Like Metamorphic Customs. They've done some pieces they're doing a piece for me for The Mandalorian. It should be here in a couple months. Let's see, I'll turn the camera so you can see this one piece that Legacy Arts did for me. It's sort of like, it's called the Jabba's Alcove. I don't know if you can see that right in the corner there. See where right there. Where the hammerhead is. So he built that for me. It's a great piece. He did a really good job. The center thing in there, you hardly can see it very well, but it lights up, and it's just like a corner of Jabba's palace. It looks really cool. Yeah, and so I think that if you do those kind of things, it just kind of helps the displayability of the figure. It makes it look a little bit more cool.
Oh, there's the Rico, and you're right.
I wish I would have got that version loop. So, Gabe, that version loop that has the scene that was never used. Mm-hmm.
That's the unscreen used when he's like looking. Him and Lando had made the plan to go help rescue Han, and so that was basically what he was. That's what he looked like when he was traversing Tatooine when he was on his way to the palace.
Matt,
did you just say Han?
Yes, you just made me a very happy person.
Hold on.
Matt, I get so much crap because that's how I say it. I say Han Solo. But you know what? That's how Lando says it.
I can see Michael burning holes in me right now.
That's how Lando says it. And that's what, remember I posted that video that my wife got with Billy D. Williams, and he's like, "Don't ever let you tell you say Han Solo." And he says Han Solo.
I remember. I catch myself every once in a while, and in funny, Danny will even sometimes correct me, and she doesn't know anything about Star Wars.
Nope. There's nothing to correct. You're saying it right.
Hey, and so for the viewers that are watching this right now that haven't had the opportunity to get into Hot Toys collecting the 1/6 scale, which is approximately 12 inches tall figures. You have no idea how huge this picture is. That Rancor versus that figure that you're looking at in this picture is 12 inches tall. I'm looking at that Rancor. That some bitch is huge.
Yeah, it's damn near 30 inches tall.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. 2.5 feet. It's unbelievable.
Yep. It is. It's an incredible piece. They did a really good job on it for what it is. The price point. I mean, I think it was like $1,300. It was the funny thing about that too is, so I buy from SciShow quite a bit, and I've accumulated quite a few reward points. And so I didn't spend any of them for like 4 or 5 years. Oh, wow. so I had like $1,500 in points. points. And so,
yeah, they were
and
getting ready to take that away from you too.
Yeah, that's what happened. So I got a letter from Sideshow that said, "Hey, we're not going to let you do this anymore. You have to spend them. We're going to have this new rule where you have to have all your rewards points spent during that year. So whatever you accumulate that year, you have to spend." So I was like, "Well, damn, I got to spend all this up now." So I saw that and I was like, "Oh, there you go, boom."
Yeah. Give me 3 of those. And that's it. You're done, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I love that scene.
That's beautiful.
It just looks so cool.
So we've seen a lot of Joseph's collection, right? And everybody knows, and it's irritating as F that he hasn't still got it all out of the damn boxes yet. But I will tell a lot of you guys that this dude has a shit ton of 1/6 scale collectibles. Oh. And I'm going to tell you, he is the main reason that Jazz Inc. is still in business. Because I'm telling you, there's nothing that he doesn't have. And I can't wait to see it finally,
I'm very excited to unpack all of the Hot Toys figures because
isn't it ridiculous?
I volunteered to help Joseph move his collection for him.
You guys are right there. So
and that's the thing.
George in Florida wants to come and help him.
Yeah. I don't know if the viewers know this, but Matt and I live 20 minutes away from each other. So so we're very
it was really funny. So it was an episode that Joseph was on, and I was like, I remember that guy. Because I remember talking to him a few times on the forums, and I remember him saying that he didn't say he lived in Portland, he just said he lived in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, that's great. I live out here too. And then when he was on your show and I found out that he was living in Portland, I was like, well, damn, he's only 20 minutes south of me. So a couple of weeks went by and I was like, they were talking about connections and friendships that were being made on this. And it's something I never really did that before. It's not how I make friends usually. I meet people in person and then eventually we become friends.
Like normal people. So, meet people like normal people. Yeah.
So I just said, shoot, I took a shot in the dark and I reached out to him and I said, hey, I'm interested in studio models and your knowledge on studio models is fantastic and impressive, and he's got more connections than any person I know. And so I thought, well, shoot, can we get together and talk about it? And I thought I was like, this guy's gonna think I'm a stalker or a psycho or something like that. But he immediately got back to me, and he couldn't have been more of a gentleman. And let me tell you something. Joseph is much cooler in person than he is on screen. Joseph is a very cool dude, and I see a lifetime friendship with him.
Absolutely. So, did you give him the 3,500 before?
Well,
did he convince?
I didn't get a T-shirt yet, though.
has other things in mind when it comes to your friendship with me. So. Yeah, no, and the thing is, we finally got together and met up and, we had a drink out on the waterfront, and it was hilarious because I got home and my wife asked me, she's like, so how was it? What's he like? And I said, he's great, but he could crush me with his little finger.
Hey, Dave,
you got to pick up drinks with Lou Ferrigno.
I know.
Pick up Harry's little deal. Joseph, did you have your flute with you when y'all met?
My flute? No.
Did he try? As long as if he starts talking about a harp, you just run the other way because he's gonna try
to in the water, dude.
He's gonna convince you to start a Star Trek band with him.
Listen,
him playing the flute, you playing the harp.
You guys have some treats coming on Collection Wars. I got a tea set for Lee.
Oh, that's right up his alley right there.
Oh. No, Lee's a whole nother character.
Lee's all about tea time.
That guy is so funny. I love Lee. And that was another friendship that actually developed from this show too. Well, upon meeting Joseph, and getting to know him and become friends with him, he's also very good friends with Lee, which actually made me feel comfortable just calling Lee because I have a Dejaric table, a 1/1 scale Dejaric table that was printed for me by my friend Edward Sanders, who lives in Vic, Australia. And so I send care packages to him because it's so expensive there. He can't get anything for decent price, and so he sends things back to me. So he sent this piece back to me, and so Lee has one. So I got in contact with him and started talking to him about how we should go about building this thing, and we become friends too. And that guy is just hilarious. He's funny, and and let me tell you something about Lee. That guy's got a curator's eye.
I'm just gonna play pictures while we talk.
Yeah,
we got a lot of pictures.
I'm just gonna say respectfully, Lee is the Howard Stern of collectibles. He will tell you how it is. And if
I like his honesty. You can tell you can tell Lee is full of integrity. He's just he'll just shoot from the hip and tell you exactly how it is, and I appreciate that about him.
He can sniff out the bullshit better than any of them.
Oh yeah. Oh, and he'll call it real quick.
And he will. But I like that kind of honesty.
They better watch out for Lee, man. He's
a very talented curator. I mean, his collection is displayed before he moved. His collection is displayed impeccably.
It is. It is another influence of mine. I love the way Lee displays. He like Joseph said, he has a curator's eye, and you would never think it. He looks like a skateboarder. He looks like a skateboarder getting ready to drop into a tunnel. But he has a very talent for putting a room together, and he does a really good job of it. And I can't wait to see his house when he gets it done.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Look at these. That's awesome. I love how you have these are set up all Empire right here.
Yes.
So that's really cool how you have that.
So, Matt, how did you light your DTOFs there? What type of LEDs? How did you do that?
I got the Good Earth LED light strips. They're a little bit more on the spendy side. Mm-hmm. But they produce a softer aluminum that won't you don't have to worry about it ruining the paint or anything on your figures and stuff. It won't. I know some lights can do that to some of your figures. That can set the color off on them. But and you can get like almost 26 different colors on that thing. Mm-hmm. And all I did was
color change.
Whoa,
mm-hmm.
Whoa,
Joseph,
whoa,
Joseph. What's going on, Joseph? I thought you were talking us up to your wife, and
bro, I am hurt. I am hurt. I thought we had this. I thought me and you had this little thing, and now Lee's involved. What the hell, man? FF, what's up with that? Is that you, Joseph? Did you tell her to say that?
I didn't tell her to say anything. She's upstairs.
Gosh,
but it's funny because Lee video chats us, and he like plays with like our daughter, our 6-month-old, and he's like, we just set up the phone, and then he like makes faces and makes her laugh, and so he's like part of the family. It's kind of
I could see he kind of looks like a puppet or a muppet. You know what my wife calls him? My wife calls him the Walian. He's like, what do you call someone from Wales? Is it like a Walish Walian? So then we just started cracking up. He's like, yes, I'm a Walian. A Walian.
He will appreciate that.
Oh, that's funny.
So got that. So here's another bigger shot of your room, and here's the that you're talking about. That
octagon display case that I have the Falcon in. Yep. That was actually a piece that I bought it off of a jewelry store owner who was going out of business, and I happened just to be walking by, and I saw him advertise that his building he was going out of business, that he was closing shop, and that he would be selling all of his pieces. And I didn't see the shop anymore, but he advertised it on Facebook Marketplace. And I found that, and it works perfect. It's like you'd be really surprised if you don't want to spend a lot of money, doing like putting a room like Gabe's room. That costs some bucks. But if you want to try to I'm not cheaping it up, but like maybe just go another route where you're not breaking the bank and you can save more for your collectibles. Facebook Marketplace is actually a really good forum to find things to use to display your items with. If you're willing to put a little bit of work in fixing them up and repainting them and sanding them and stuff like that.
Yeah. In fact, Matt, along those same lines, if you guys are interested, the collectors out there who are watching, if you find that there is a department store or something in your area that's going out of business, those are great places to hit up, because like we had a Macy's close nearby here, right? And I went there and they had acrylic risers, those acrylic risers that you pay, $15 to $30 for each, depending on how large they are. They had boxes of brand new risers that they never used, so they had no scratches. I mean, they were selling them for $2 each. I bought a mannequin that's like $800 for one of my Star Trek uniforms. I bought it for $50. I mean, it's crazy.
It's crazy. You just have to be willing to put the time in to look. I mean, some people are just they want and they just push the button and buy. But I'll shop around before I go the other route first, just to see if I can. I kind of like actually customizing and doing my own thing, anyways. To kind of make it my own. So
that's beautiful, but you can't show that to Michael.
I know we're starting to get into the
comics.
We'll get into the comics.
Bathroom break.
No, it just looks so impressive. I love the way you have this room, because obviously we're gonna get into this, because Matt doesn't just stop here, guys. Like Matt, it continues. He likes a bunch of different other franchises.
I do.
I'm the only one who's crazy.
No, no, I'm not.
All right, so that's pretty much it for the Star Wars pictures for now. Obviously, that he has a lot of them, in the background, and if you follow Matt on social media, I'm sure you could see a lot of other close-up pictures. And obviously, if anybody out there watching, I'm sure if you reach out to Matt, he would. I'm sure he would.
I would be more than happy. In fact, I often do get people who hit me up and ask me, how I put the room together, and most of them are actually very surprised at how little money I actually put into it. A lot of people really think, like, God damn, what do you do for a living? Like, well, really, honestly, I'm just, I make a good living, but I'm not rich by any means. I just,
Actually, Sorry, I was wrong. There's still more. Let's keep going.
But yeah, they like the way they like the cabinetry and the way that I use my space in the room, and so I try to help people as often as I can, build theirs. So whenever anybody reaches out to me, I'm always more than happy to speak with them.
Is this the deluxe version that has with the tentacles?
Yes, that's the deluxe version that has the Scarlac pit. With it, that's a really cool figure. It's really
so I have obviously quite a few Hot Toys, but the one thing that I do not have is the picture that Gabe showed before this. I don't have those two versions. I have her, which this one I really like.
You don't have the K2SO?
I don't. I want that one bad, but I've got this one that I really love.
Jyn Erso was really well made. I got both versions. I got her in the I'm not even really sure what you call that outfit, but it's the when she's rescuing her.
Yeah, her dad. Those two I still need, and they're so expensive now.
They are. I think Rogue One, when the pieces came out, they didn't make a lot of them, right? And so I loved it. I loved the movie. First of all, I thought Rogue One was a great movie, and I thought it was far better than any of the prequels. And so when K2SO happened to be one of my favorite characters of that movie, and so when it came out, I knew it was a must to have, and they built it beautifully. There's a lot of die cast on it too, and so it's very sturdy, and it's a very imposing figure. But if you like Rogue One, you should have this figure. There's no excuse not to have that.
Do you have the blind guy? Do you have the blind one?
Are very popular.
Yeah, Tarut. I have him. You should be able to see a picture of him. Yeah, he's really cool too. The thing about Rogue One too is they teased a Maze Ballast figure.
Yeah,
and it was wonderful. The concept was wonderful the way they did it, and I wish they. There it is. That's the piece.
I was gonna wait for those. So
that's the piece
that Joseph convinced you to do.
That was the entry level piece that I had to buy to get a return phone call from Joseph.
Oh no.
That was the entry drug right there before you started doing the crack.
We'll get to it. So I've been jumping around. I probably should have downloaded all these pictures and
it's okay. I mean,
organized them.
if you see something you like, you can just talk about it. It's easy to talk. Yeah.
No, this is
The background pieces on that
cool.
last picture that you did.
Yeah.
A guy from Greece does those. I can't remember his name, but I bought the pieces on eBay, and he builds these just background pieces like that you can just put the figures in front of, and they're really cool. They light up and they display well, and they're not expensive at all. I think I only paid maybe $100 for it or something like that. It was really cheap.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like this.
There's the man. Yeah.
Hey, Gabe, you had this set up, didn't you?
I do, but I have the quarter scale.
Oh, that's right.
The quarter scale is really cool. It's really nice.
Because I know you were kind of up in the air for more room kind of thing.
I think those are still probably the first to go. Once I start making.
I'll tell you what, though, I guarantee you those things right now, you probably can't even get them anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless you want to pay double.
Yeah.
Are the Royal Guard all sold out already?
I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you cannot get those anymore. They're all secondary market. Yeah.
No.
And the Emperor is long gone.
Yeah,
the
premium format for sure.
Yeah.
Don't you wish that they would have came out with that damn TIE fighter that you saw at the cons?
Oh,
you thought the cockpit was, you thought the cockpit was cool. Holy crap, that TIE fighter was.
That TIE fighter was 4 feet tall.
Yep. My friend Jesse Garza. He's a customizer, and he's probably listening right now. He's building a 1/6 scale TIE fighter.
Oh wow!
And it looks phenomenal. It's all scratch built.
Wow.
It looks really nice, and he's doing
a phenomenal job. You know what he's building it out of?
I know.
He's 3D printing the parts, isn't he?
I think he 3D prints the parts, and then he customizes stuff in between to make sure everything fits correctly and everything. So it's a bit of 3D printing plus customizing at the same time.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
I've seen pictures of it. It's incredible.
Wow, I can't see that. That's badass. X-wing would be badass, wouldn't it?
In 1/6 scale.
Yeah,
that would be huge.
Well, I'm hoping that Jazz Inc. will do an X-wing cockpit like they did the Falcon cockpit.
Yeah,
because it won't be that big. I mean, it'll be
Yeah,
screw that.
But it would be.
I've seen them. Hot Toys does a fighter jet cockpit, and it looks really nice. And if they did an X-wing cockpit, I think it would look just as good.
Yeah.
Who did you say did a fighter jet?
Hot Toys earlier on. Hot Toys did a fighter jet cockpit. I think it was back when they were doing unlicensed stuff, when they did the Maverick, and it was supposed to be Tom Cruise from Top Gun.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. Because Kids Logic did a fighter jet cockpit.
I saw that one. That one was really good.
And that's incredible. Yeah.
Yep. That's an expensive piece. I saw that not so long ago. I saw it on eBay for going for a pretty good price.
Just out of curiosity, just because of your childhood and whatnot, obviously you got a 1/6 scale addiction, but have you considered at least getting your original 12 back figures loose, or?
Well, when they came out with the retro collection, I got all those. Just for the nostalgia of it. But Michael, no, I have not really entertained the thought of going back and getting those things. And I think it's just simply because if I was to do it, I would want to do it full scale. And I know how expensive that would be to try to get all that back. And it just seems it's not unrealistic, but I think it's a task that would be just more than I want to take on right now.
Well, not like that, but you'd probably still be collecting Hot Toys at the same time, so that
I would be running out of money very quickly.
Hey, one thing that I've learned is for collectors out there who've definitely has had an original collection that has, like so many, the majority actually out there have gotten rid of their collections. When you buy collections back and they're not your originals, it's kind of it sucks because it's not the same high Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's weird, but so you guys out there that are, of course, it's cool to just have them again and be able to see your original Jawa and whatnot.
Yep.
But when it's something that you bought that wasn't yours, I mean, I'm blessed that I have all my original action figures. Those were mine.
Which is phenomenal that you have them from childhood. That just hardly ever happens anymore.
Yeah,
Michael, you know, it's funny you say that because I had a Transformer when I was a kid that I really loved, right? It was the Jetfire. That was actually a Robotech piece that they just slapped an Autobot sticker on it. Yeah. And I lost that when I was a kid, and I always wanted it back. I finally found one, you know, on the secondary market that was still in the box.
Wow.
And when I got it, and I opened the lid, I mean, it wasn't taped shut. I opened the lid, and I saw that the kid's name who owned it had written his name on the inside of the box, and it was just like, oh, this isn't mine, you know, this is some other kid's you know, piece. So it definitely, I know exactly what you're saying there.
There's that connection that you have with that toy when you're 9 years old is never going to be the same when you're in your late 30s or 40s. That first time that you get it, that first time you open it up, it's better than any kind of drug you'll ever do, any kind of drink you'll ever have. It's nostalgia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, me and my wife were cooking out on the grill this evening, and we were talking about all of us in our, you know, because I've been working all day on her Barbie collection, building this huge base for her Barbie Dream House thing. And it's crazy because it's like we're lucky. I mean, we're in our 50. Denise isn't quite 50. She's in her 40s. But I mean, to think about all these other people, it's like keeping up with the Joneses and who has the nicest house or vehicles. And we're still collecting toys and stuff. It's really kick-ass. I mean, I was always afraid. That was my biggest fear. I said it in my very first video. My biggest fear as a child was that I was getting ready to grow up and not like my toys anymore. And it never happened, thank Jesus. So
when me and my girlfriend first decided to move in together and buy a house and get very, very serious in our relationship, the one request that I asked her was that you never ask me to grow up.
That's awesome.
Don't ever ask me to grow up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's very supportive. It helps to have somebody like that. I know, Michael, you have your wife that's very supportive of your collection, and I know Joseph's wife goes to all the cons with him and stuff, and my girlfriend Danny, she couldn't have been more than. I mean, some people could run away from this and shock and awe and go, I can't get involved with anything like this. But she was really cool and thought it was cool. And she's actually helped me quite a bit with my collection. So it's been really nice with Danny.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Mine is kind of.
Well, you notice how I didn't mention your wife's name.
She's cool as long as she doesn't know how much I'm spending. And she's like, baby, what are you spending that for?
Hey, this is Gabe's talking right here. Look, throw up Matt's collection on the very bottom. Look what my biggest fear is that after I'm gone, my wife is going to sell the collection for what she thinks I paid for.
Oh,
absolutely.
There's going to be a very happy collector out there one of these days.
Well, I mean, the other issue though is that I think I've been collecting this stuff at least long enough where I did get a lot of this stuff at retail. So, and I don't, and I tell her, I'm like, oh my God, look at this one's now worth this much. But she always says, don't tell me how much things are worth because I already know you're never going to sell them. So
I hear that too, bro.
Why even tell me? I'm like, all right. Oh, this is such a cool piece.
That is a great piece.
Yeah.
He's hard to stand up though. Mine's hard to stand up. He's got real loose limbs on the bottom. A good friend of mine donated that piece to me, John. That's an awesome piece right there.
Yeah,
it is. One of Sideshow's better pieces.
Yeah,
they did creatures really well.
Yeah.
The humans not so much, but as far as like the creatures and the Cantina band member, the Hammerhead, they really did those pieces really well, and I hope they continue to on that line because that's one area that they do excel in. is the creature pieces. For some reason, they've never been able to catch up with Sideshow and 3-0 and all those other groups that do really good head sculpts and stuff. I'm not sure why, but
does that character come with that dude?
No. Actually, that when Gabe was asking earlier about the Womp Rat, that comes with the creature pack. So you can buy like a creature pack, and it has that and Salacious Crumb, the Womp Rat. I can't remember the name of the creature that. Yeah, but
Sideshow, is that Sideshow?
Yep, Sideshow does that.
Okay.
Then Sideshow does this piece too.
That's an incredible piece.
That's a cool one.
I love that. That's a great.
Rare. I mean,
it is.
You don't
and even today,
collection.
Sideshow, it's a hard one to find, and it's expensive to find when you do find it. So
yeah.
Do
you have that one, Joseph?
No, I don't.
What?
That's right.
I got something you don't have? Oh man, I need to get this thing signed quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, how the tables have turned, Joseph.
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed in you.
No,
I know what to get you for your birthday or something if I ever come across one.
No, I didn't get a lot of the older Sideshow pieces.
Yeah.
Because I had issues with the realism and stuff like that. But what I did pick up were things that, like, I got the creature pack that you have to go with the Jabba. Yeah. And I got the what's his name? Tuna. I can't remember the guy that's with Jabba. God, I'm blanking on
Bib Fortuna.
Oh, Bib Fortuna.
Bib Fortuna. Yeah. I got that Sideshow made that one, and I got him to stand up, next to Jabba. Yeah. And I got the guards and the whole, but the other pieces like the Cantina band members and stuff like that, I never got those. I was actually hoping, because it looked like Hot Toys was starting to release a lot of those pieces again, and they do a much nicer job on them. So I'm just kind of waiting.
If I have one criticism of Hot Toys, is that I wish that they would at times not so much lean on what is popular now and then just landslide it and then throw it down your throat. I love all the Mandalorian pieces and I'll always buy them and everything, but I wish they would balance it out a little bit more and give us some OT stuff.
Exactly.
And along with that, because a lot of people, there's figures that there's a lot of us have been waiting for them to do. Yeah. That's always been hinted that they just never follow through on.
Right.
And it confuses me and vexes me a little bit, because those are the pieces that would sell out so incredibly fast that they would not have a problem producing and selling them. They would be gone. And for some reason they refuse to do that. And they kind of just stick with what's hot right now. And that would be my only complaint.
Well, it's a valid criticism. I mean, look, they teased a couple of years ago, they teased a Kit Fisto. Would you rather have a Kit Fisto or another Mando?
Exactly.
I mean, really, how many is that now? They 5. They just released like the 5th one. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yep. And we've all been waiting for an all die-cast C-3PO for like 500 years.
Well, actually, Bandai made one of those.
Yeah, exactly. They did a R2D2 and C-3PO, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, it's their Chogokin Tamashii Nations line. It's really incredible, but they're not cheap.
No, I think the last one I saw was on eBay. It was like for $1,000 for a C-3PO from them. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Nope.
That's crazy.
Well, that's beautiful.
What
do you think your favorite?
Oh, little Grogu.
Oh, yeah.
Did you do that hack, Matt?
What my favorite piece is?
Yeah. What do you think out of in the Hot Toys side as of right now, anyways?
That's a really good question. I find myself falling in love with new ones and saying, "Oh, this is my favorite one," and then something else will come out and I'll say, "This is my favorite one." Yeah. But I think the one that stands out the most to me that I will always come back to, because I think it's such an incredible piece, and it's actually their last DX that they did. When Hot Toys does a specialty item, it's called a DX. So they'll do like a DX1, DX2, DX3. They start off with Batman. They did a Bruce Lee, and they did stuff like that. So when they did the DX18 Darth Maul, that was a really, really incredible piece. It came with the speeder. The head is magnetized, so it's not attached in any way but by a magnet, and you can't see the seams. And it comes with 2 different head sculpts. The clothing is impeccably stitched. It's a beautiful figure. It's beautifully painted, and I think it's probably one of my favorite pieces.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Hey, Matt,
I don't know if you got that one yet. Did you get that, Joseph?
I did. I did.
Yeah, I think you'll agree with the fact that is probably one of their better ones that they've done in the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
have you even opened it, Joseph?
No, it's sitting right next to me. Right here. I have seen it though, but mine is still in the box here.
Yeah.
I missed out, Matt, on the Bespin Luke's, the dual.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like $1,200, bro.
Yeah, you might get lucky, Michael, because I'm pretty sure
they're going to
that Hot Toys is going to do another. They won't do another version where it's the damaged version and the clean version, but they are going to do another version, and hopefully
I
they'll.
I don't have a Bespin the Luke version at all.
They'll come up with they're coming out with one here pretty soon, hopefully.
Yeah,
so
they're going to do it, but it's him in his Bespin outfit, but it's not the pack with the best, the Cloud City.
Yeah, that thing's so badass.
Yeah.
Do you
know, Michael? You can actually you can probably find that the piece that hangs from Bespin. You can find it separately and buy it, and not spend that $900 on the whole piece if you don't want to buy the whole piece. Okay. If you want to just get that new one that comes with Hot Toys that will be here probably pretty soon, you can find the other piece. They sell them separately, and they're really not all that expensive if you really like it. Yeah.
I don't know how many people, because when you're looking through and somehow you find all these overseas from China, same sculpt, head sculpts, and you know what I'm talking about, the bodies or whatever.
It's the same factory, probably.
Yeah, and it looks like it is. But let me tell you, I'm just going to tell you guys, like I ordered a really nice, it was like $280, a Conan the Barbarian 1/6 scale, and then I end up getting that nice
1/3
scale one. And I didn't even.
That statue you have of Conan is impressive.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
So the 1/6 scale one I have, it's been months and months and months and months, and it was in stock, right? It says, it's kind of like one of those deals. And then I started reading all these reviews recently because I was telling them, like, hey, I want my money back. And they're like, please just give us, more time. It's almost ready to, all this stuff. And now, I don't ask for money back very often, but I'm just not interested in it anymore. But now it's saying that people are saying this company's a scammer company. So be aware of overseas. I know most of you guys are probably more aware than I am, but it's very difficult when you're dealing with people on eBay overseas. I know eBay looks out for a little bit, but holy crap. This one, I think I just called my credit card company actually today just to see if I can get something done through that. But I think I got scammed out on that one.
Yeah, you have to be very careful when you're buying a company's overseas. I know Joseph has told me about horror stories that he's had, and I've had the same and I think the problem is too sometimes the communication, the lack of different language sometimes, and then things get kind of lost in translation, and so it can be frustrating. And there is a lot of dirty people out there that will take your money and absolutely not give you your product. And so I think we've all ran into something like that at some certain time or another.
Yeah.
For sure.
So you got some sequel stuff here, and then I think we're kind of at the end now. I think we're at the end of Star Wars stuff, right?
I think so. I think that might be towards the last part of the pictures that I sent.
Do you have a Tarkin? Do you have a Tarkin 6 scale?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, he's sitting right below Vader. So if you see,
showed that one. You should have sent that to Gabe, dude. That's his.
See, Gabe, give you this one right here.
Look at that, the Jawa with the power droid. I love that one.
Mm-hmm.
You see him?
Oh yeah, I see him.
Yep. There's your Tarkin.
Oh, with the Death Star droid.
Yeah.
Is your Tarkin with the chair? I can't tell.
Yeah. There's a chair. He's holding the chair with his right hand.
I bought one for $550, and they sent a deal back. I paid for it, and then immediately, I guess they sold it to somebody else. I don't know how it happened through eBay because it was a done deal, but they just refunded my money, and I wasn't able to pick it up. It was like $550 for that. I never got it.
Oh wait, no,
Sorry, Michael. I hate those stories, man. I hate those stories.
Because I really wanted that Tarkin in an original 6-scale Vader.
no,
You know?
we still got more. Hold on, we got more. It's for some reason every time I pull them up from Facebook, it like shuffles them around again,
and then they're not in order. I know.
Yeah,
it does that all the time.
Because we got over here some of the prequel stuff you got there.
What kind of Y-wing is that up on top?
That's basic. That's a Hasbro. Yeah, it's just a Hasbro.
It looks so cool though.
I found the acrylic display stands from a guy who he makes he prints these acrylic stands in Georgia. He builds them specifically for Hasbro and Kenner products.
Is that display stands direct or
they
make all the acrylic? Yeah, they do some nice pieces.
They do.
I just got a few for my flute.
The shuttle Tiberian.
The Tiberian? Yeah. That's so when you go downstairs from my mid-level room, from the middle room downstairs into the basement, that's the first thing you see. It's on a pedestal, and it's sitting right there at the bottom of the staircase.
Yeah, also a Hasbro or no?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. That was the Target exclusive.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I have the Target exclusive X-Wing. I think the X-Wing, and it's a large one, and that's in my garage somewhere.
Yeah,
and then I have the TIE Fighter that matches with the really. I think that was a Toys R Us special.
Yeah,
with the really big wings.
Yep.
Man, look at this.
I like how you have all the speeders. You got so you got two versions. So you got two of the.
I did. I got two of the indoor versions, so I could have I like to every once in a while when I'm dusting, I like to switch them up, switch the poses up, and sometimes I'll have them chasing each other off the bikes, on the bikes, and stuff like that. So I wanted to have like options to be able to make movie scenes, and so you need two of them. So yeah, I got two of those, and I got two of the Mando ones because that's such an iconic scene in The Mandalorian when they're standing there joking and talking about Grogu, and they end up punching him.
I love that you have all of the kind of movies well represented in your collection. And that's rare, right? Because a lot of us will tend to stick with certain, movies, certain, either sequels, prequels, or original trilogy.
Yep.
I know Michael's all about those prequels, right? Or the sequels.
Episode 1, 2.
I thought Michael was the sequel trilogy.
Oh, a sequel. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Yeah. Michael hasn't seen. Did you see that video I made today, Michael?
I didn't.
I'm gonna send it. Oh, you did see it?
No, I did not.
I'm gonna send it to you.
Hey, I'm going to go down in my office real quick, and I'm going to bring something up, and I'm going to see what Matt thinks about this. Give me one second.
Go for it. We'll keep on going over here.
Oh, that's nice. Is that the original? Cool. Is that the Hot Toys one or the Sideshow? Tusken Raider.
That is the Sideshow Tusken Raider.
The original one.
The original one. Yeah. And actually, it holds up really well, Joseph.
Yeah.
It's
have
actually
that one, and I
you have it. Yeah.
I that's one I actually opened and looked at.
What I did was I took
them. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, but now Hot Toys is making them.
Yeah.
DeLorean. So
it looks really nice too.
Yeah.
They're going to do a really good job on that. I'm anxious to pair those two together. So just to see what they look like next to each other.
Now you just need the Bantha.
Wayne's Butler's asking if anybody's getting the HasLab Razor Quest.
Yes, actually, I am.
Razor Crest. Sorry.
I did. I was one of the original backers of the barge.
Yep.
And so I have that, and I love it. It's an incredible piece.
Did you
incredibly engineered piece?
Or no? Did you?
You don't have it out.
Pictures? Did you? Or do you have it displayed?
I don't think I have it sent in pictures, but it's kind of out here in the middle room. So it's always. Let's see, it's right here.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I did back the Razor Crest though, and I'm anxious for that because I've watched the HasLab production pictures that have been sent to me, and it looks really cool. Yeah. Actually, they did a really good job with it. Yeah, I think those kind of pieces are cool. I mean, I'll always buy that when it's just a public funded piece. Mm-hmm. And only a certain amount of people get them. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I think I like HasLab. I think they're doing good. I think they do good.
They took, it's a departure from the usual Hasbro type pieces. They tried to make it more like the Hot Toys vehicles, where they're painted realistically, shaded, and they're done very, very well.
They are. They're engineered very well.
So I'm looking forward to that Razor Crest. I think it's like 30 inches long.
It's huge.
It's like a studio model.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's you know, obviously it's not studio quality, but I mean, to the naked, you know, like if you were to see it just without knowing, you would think it was a high end model. You know, so
I'm interested in seeing how they do the finish on it. You know, the paint finish. So
What'd you got, Michael? What'd you bring up?
Yeah, so this is for Matt and Joseph. I want to see if, because I know Matt's into the 12-inch, you know, the 1/6 scale, but this is where it all started right here. I want to see what your thoughts are on this.
Ooh.
Oh yes,
those are the
Michael. I had
Joe figures, huh?
I had that. Awesome. That was also a passion of mine when I was a kid. I loved the 12-inch GI Joe line, and I loved those things. And those pieces were fantastic. I played with them all the time when I was a kid. That's a great piece.
Man, I love
still playing with it.
They've got the yellow one, and dude, are we just nerds or what?
I love that. Hey, you know what, Michael? I'm jealous because I remember having that. That's an incredible piece. That's really cool.
It's really cool. I was talking to my cousin that's a couple years older than me, and we were talking about how they did the hair, you know, because they've got some details. You know how the Hot Toys are. They're coming out with some where you can get the heads.
Rooted hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're so real looking.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think about this, Gabe?
That's cool, man.
Isn't that cool, buddy?
At first I was like, is it Big Jim or is it
no, that's pretty cool though. Big Jim's pretty cool too.
Yep, I had those too. I remember playing with Big Jim, and that was like when they, you know, it wasn't a doll, it was a action figure.
I know, right? Exactly. Yeah, but I love this thing, and I don't ever get the chance to. This was like early in the show when I was telling you about spotlighting your certain little things, and me and Lee talked for a long time about that last night about spotlighting your collectibles and the way to do it in the right way. And that's
he knows how to do that. He's very good at it. He's very versed at that.
Yep.
But guys,
those Gabe.
It's funny, but there are more of us out there than you would think. I mean, I sent you guys all those pictures today. I've been working with a doctor for 10 years at the hospital. 10 years. And then I just find out today he's got this massive Star Wars collection, and he's got a huge display room with all this. And I was like, why didn't you ever tell me this?
I was like, how does that happen? How do you work with someone for 10 years and not know that he's a Star Wars collector? And you are.
That's like, I mean, that's how I am too. Like, I don't tell anybody. And it's kind of funny because I saw this meme where it's like, hey, you're like, to my family and friends, like, you're not supposed to see my stuff. That's only for strangers in the internet, not for my personal friends and family. But yeah, no, a lot of my family, I barely, just right now, when my daughter when my daughter went to prom, right? Because she's a senior. And she took a picture with her friends in here, and I posted it on my personal social media. And people flipped out. I started getting a bunch of messages. Wait, that's your room, Gabe? That's your room? What is going on? Can I come over and see? And it just, I kind of forgot that I don't tell my friends and family that I have this stuff. It's really crazy.
Well, I mean, I think you pick and choose who you decide to let know about that part of your life. I know that growing up, you know, after when I got into college, I was playing ball. I was away from home, and I've lived with one of my buddies. He was my roommate, and I had all my stuff kind of stashed away in a closet somewhere because I really didn't think, you know, what was this guy think if I asked him if I could display some of this stuff in our apartment, you know, and it was a surprise to me that we lived together. So, I mean, he was up in my room one time and asked if he could borrow some athletic tape. I told him where it was. He went in there and he noticed the back room. He looked in and he was like, oh my God, Matt, this stuff is great. Yeah. How long have you had it? And, you know, and so I'm like, well, you know, and I started telling him about it. He's like, well, yeah, put it up, you know? And so he's like, okay. And so I was like, I got more comfortable with it. But at first you just don't know what people are going to think or say. So you're very careful about, who you show that.
You're like, put it up in invite the chicks over.
I think what it is.
It worked remarkably well.
I think Matt was worried. Matt was worried about getting his ass kicked, is what it was.
It was.
Right.
Look,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
last thing I needed to do was go to practice, and then somebody say something, and then I'm just the ridicule of a joke for the next 5 or 6 weeks.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, right. Look at this comment.
Not
Yeah.
everybody.
Matt is the buffest nerd I know.
Yeah.
Hey, I will.
I'm
That's
sure
my
you wasn't
friend
worried.
Lot.
Nope,
Man,
I
I
was
will
going
tell
to
you,
say not everybody reacts the same way, right? So,
Right.
and not everyone understands this, this passion that we have. Look, when we built our house, my contractor helped me do this room. We put up the shelves together, and I was talking to him about lighting, but he never saw the collection.
Mm-hmm.
So he came over last week for something, and he said, "Let me see this room. Let me see where you're at." And I brought him down, and I opened the doors, and he popped his head in, and he does this. He kind of looks around, and he looks around, and then he looks at me, and he goes, "You have a problem, right?"
Yes.
I mean, when you walk into a room and all of a sudden the doors just go,
I know.
that's badass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's badass.
Yeah.
So guys, I'm gonna just keep on playing pictures in the background while we
For
talk.
sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I could imagine when he must have when he saw those doors sliding open. It's just like all of a sudden, oh my God, what
Well,
did
I
I step
I
into?
didn't expect that reaction because he helped me put up the doors.
He was the one that helped build
it's
them.
not like this was going to be a surprise to him.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, so you have all the bounty hunters. That's
I got all
awesome.
the bounty hunters. I made sure that I got all the
Listen.
bounty hunters. That was important to me to have all those. That was
Yeah.
such an iconic scene. Empire Strikes Back is my favorite movie. Sorry, Michael.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I the reason why I like Empire so much is I think it had the most climactic scene.
So
it had the most planets.
And
It
I
had the most planets shown, the most diverse, battles. I just to me it was number one. That was number one.
Hey Matt, let's just call it out. Are you a Back to the Future fan?
I am, and I do actually have Doc and both versions of Marty McFly.
And we'll go over that. But which is your favorite Back to the Future?
Be ready, Gabe.
So okay, let me. I like 1 and 2.
No.
Hold on. Let me explain.
Yeah.
Look, I like 1 and 2, but I prefer 1 over 2. I prefer the first Back to the Future. I think they're both entertaining, and I can see why people would choose one over the other as their favorites. Yeah. But mine personally was the original. So I did like 1 better. But it was both. I think both movies were good.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they're different. Like Michael, I agree with you. I mean, Back to the Future, the first one is my favorite, but number 2 is visually more interesting as a film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like Lee said, it had the most commercialized products that came out of the movie than anything else. So you could get things to go along with your collection more from the second movie than you could from the first.
Yeah.
Right.
But Lee was wrong too. So
no.
I mean, you can have all these collectibles, but it doesn't have anything to do with the damn story.
Hey Matt, just really quick. Sean is asking, are those modified detops? Because they're short. What's up with those?
So no, those are actually not detop shelves.
Oh.
No, those are a separate company, and those are also I can't remember the name of them. But I did find those on Facebook Marketplace from a private seller. Yeah, those are not detolfs though. Those are something completely different. But they're the same width and depth as a detolf, but just 2 shelves. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that actually opens up tons of possibilities because you could start putting them in different levels. That's really cool.
Yeah. The idea was I was going to try to find a whole bunch of them and put them on every single pedestal, but I kind of like the open display of the pedestal, so I just kept them alone.
And I mean, realistically, it's a very simple design, right? I mean, it just has the openings around the.
They're the easiest things to construct.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Yep.
So we got through here. All right, let me shuffle. Let me do another shuffle.
No problem.
I'll be right
I
back.
know I sent you a dump load of pictures.
Well,
so.
no, it's not necessarily that. Like I said, it's just every single time I show something, it's like Facebook wants to see, like this one. Like this one hasn't shown up. Like the 2 Boba Fett.
Yeah, those were. Oh, I loved it when those came out. So the one is the animation version.
Yeah.
And I loved that cartoon, and I thought it was really cool when I was a kid. I always wanted to watch it, and it was always exciting when it came on. So I was always, because Boba Fett was my favorite character, and that color scheme is actually my favorite to see him pose. I love the color of the animation version. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, that's such a cool piece.
That helmet pops. It really does. I don't know. Do they make a 1/1 scale of that animation helmet?
Some people make it.
Yeah, it's actually really
no license.
Cool. Yeah,
but yeah, there's definitely people out there making them. Oh, get my Facebook thread in there. Let me see what else is popping up. Hold on. See, like this. We didn't see this. The Mando.
That Stormy, the Remnant Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
The paint job on that thing is incredible. You know, the weathering that they did on that, it just looks really, really good. They did an awesome job. It's probably my favorite trooper out of all the normal Stormtroopers.
Really.
I love it when it's the more weathered, the better.
The weathering on that is superb. They did a really good job.
Look at that. That's such a cool piece.
Yeah, there's the animated Fett.
Hey guys.
The Mando.
So I just went upstairs to refill my drink, and I see my entire family upstairs in the living room with this show on the big screen TV.
Oh, that's so hilarious.
So everyone's watching.
Hi, family.
I heard their cooking is spectacular, and I'm waiting for an invite to dinner.
Yeah, that's good.
It'll happen soon.
Hi, FF.
Yeah.
Hey, so
stop sucking up. Stop sucking up, Mike. We already know Lee is the favorite.
He is. He's like the favorite son. The golden child.
I don't believe that in my heart. I don't believe it.
Lil Lee.
I just don't believe it. Joseph knows.
Don't believe it, Michael. Don't believe it. We love you. Oh wow.
That's cool.
So that's my boy Nate.
Aww.
Yeah, he was more excited for the Grogu than I was. And so when I got it, he did not want me to put it in that case. He wanted to keep it in his room.
That is cool.
But he's becoming quite the collector too. I've actually bought some shelves for his room, and he has a Lego collection that he displays everything in. So yeah,
that's cool.
That's cool. Hey Matt, did you do the cheek hack?
I did.
Yeah.
So what I did was, the one thing I did not like about it was how rosy the cheeks were.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that happened that way or why they came out so bright like that. But what I did was I bought a magic eraser, excuse me. And I just lightly, and I didn't even dampen it. I just lightly just stroked it until it was like to the point where I thought it would look, screen accurate. And so, and I've been told that it looks a lot better that way. So I think so too. I think it was too bright when it first came out.
I'm not sure what happened there, and I don't know if they corrected that for later, like the later collectors who bought that.
They might have. Yeah. I know I was one of the first runs, so I got mine early. So doesn't that pop that fig? I know we're not huge fans of the new movies, but that was one figure when it came out that I thought was just absolutely beautiful. And I knew that I had to have both of them, the red versions of the Sith Trooper and the Jump Trooper, in my collection because that red looks so cool next to Kylo Ren.
And by the way, Matt, if you were interested, although I hope Danny's not watching, Armory Shop Props in Moscow makes a full size of that helmet in that red. And
really?
Yep.
Well, I might have to go and look into that.
I got
See,
the
look
white
at
one, but
you,
the red one
Joseph.
is beautiful.
Joseph.
Yes.
What?
So
Sorry.
I was talking
$3,500.
to Joseph the other night, and Danny's sitting next to me, and we're talking about pieces that I'm going to be picking up, and she just, hey, since you've been talking to Joseph, all you do is buy. What kind of relationship is this?
An expensive one.
Yeah.
I go, honey. I've met women that I've spent less money on.
That's hilarious. That
It's
Iron
like
Man was badass.
it's like being in a relationship with a woman, except you're not buying purses and shoes. You're buying
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Hey, I bought you a Coach purse.
Hey, Matt, which is your favorite Mando version? Do you like the original one?
My favorite is everybody likes the Beskar version, but I like the original version. I think that is the coolest. I love the pieced together armor. I think to me, that's when I think of the Mandalorian. That's what I envision in my mind is that first time that you see him in that mixed armor. I love that version. I think it's really good. I actually just ordered. They just came out with the swoop bike, and it's really cool. Man, they did a really good job with it. It's really screen accurate, and the weathering on it's awesome. And the new Mando comes with the head sculpt, so you get Pascal's head sculpt with this one. Yeah, it looks really good.
Did you order one of those?
Huh?
Have you ordered one of those yet?
Me?
Well, we're on live, so you have one.
No.
And your whole family's watching.
Your whole family's watching. So never mind.
No, I
Choose your words wisely.
I guarantee you he'll have one.
Here you go. Look at this from the best Back to the Future movie.
Yeah, that's my office that I'm still working on. So I just wanted to kind of put everything in there and see where it all goes before I start painting and everything. So that's sort of a mock-up of what it looked like.
That looks cool. I love that display.
Man.
Yeah,
is that glass?
Yeah, it's a glass. That's all glass, and it's from Disney. It's a Disney display that a guy had about 5 of those.
Crazy.
In his locker, in a storage locker that he was selling. And I thought, wow, those are great display cases. Those I love glass cubes on top of pedestals. For me, that's I love displaying that way. If I could display every single figure I had like that, I would. But it's a Disney display that this guy had, and so I bought like 3 or 4 of those.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Michael's gonna like this. Look at this.
Oh yeah, the Indiana Jones one. That's another. That's the DX05 Indiana Jones Hot Toys.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, I never, dude. That is. Do you have a close up of the one in the middle?
Yeah, there should be.
Is that the DX5 that you're talking about?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Man.
Let me see. I'll find it for you, Michael. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah. No problem.
Look at these. I mean, but I'm skipping over such good stuff. Well, we'll get to it. I'll get back to that one.
Let's so on the left of Indiana Jones, of course, you have those are all the sideshow pieces of Indiana Jones, and that's you got his dad and then the Temple of Doom version on the top shelf on the left.
Bro, I never even knew they had those.
Yeah, they the one of Sean Connery as his dad is actually a very popular figure, hard to find.
Was that from Hot Toys?
That's Sideshow.
Or Sideshow. Okay.
And what about the ones on the bottom? Indiana Jones and his little and the map room?
That outfit actually came with the DX05. And so what I did was I pieced together another Indiana Jones and just dressed him up and put him in those garb.
And they had that guy came out. He came out. What's his name? God, what's his name?
The one where his face melts.
Yeah.
You mean Tot?
Yes.
Yeah, I have him. So he's like, let's see, if you scan down, he should be below. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, that's I think is that him? I can't tell.
Yeah, that's him.
Hey, do you have the DeLorean? You plan on getting the DeLorean?
That's okay. So I had 3 Grail pieces that I wanted to pick up, and I've acquired 2 out of the 3. The Tauntaun was one, and I was able to pick that up last year. My due back will be here Wednesday. And I finally found one for a price that I was willing to pay. And I talked to Joseph about this, and this is one of those collector things that everybody's gone through. But it was probably, I think it was like 2014, 2015. I was driving to Salem to see my family, and I went into this local comic book shop that this guy owned that I knew he was there forever. And I walked in, and he never had any Star Wars stuff before, but for some reason I walked in and he had the dewback and a stormtrooper, a sideshow stormtrooper for sale right in the smack dab in the middle of his shop. And I didn't have enough money on me at the time. He was selling it for $575. And I was like, I have to have this, and I missed out on this. And I'm going to be back tomorrow. I'm visiting my folks. I'll be back tomorrow, and I'll have cash in hand. Will you please hold this for me? I promise I'll pay for it. I don't flake. I'll be here. And he looked me directly in the eye and goes, yes, absolutely. I will put this aside, and I will hold this for you. And so next day comes, I get up early. I mean, I'm up at the crack of dawn, and I'm taking a shower. I'm heading all the way from Woodland to Salem. And I get there, and he sold it. He sold it. And I looked at him, and I said, you looked at me right in the eyes, shook my hand, said you would hold this for me for one day. I told you. He goes, sorry, man. When you own a shop like this and people have money in hand, you got to sell it when you can sell it. And I was just like, God, it tore my heart out. So after that, it's a rare piece. They only made 2,500 of them, or maybe 2,000. I'm not sure what the limited quantity was, but no one sells those. When they get them, you keep it, because that's an iconic piece, and so it's very hard to find. So I searched and I searched and I searched, and finally found one willing to sell me it for a price that I was willing to pay. And so yes, I'm finally getting my due back, and it's coming Wednesday, and I will be ecstatic.
Okay, so number 3 is the DeLorean.
So the number 3 is, so now if I can get the DeLorean, I will be pleased.
They're like
everything that I've wanted that I missed out on, I'll have.
They're not too. They're like 2,200 to 2,500.
They are expensive.
Yeah.
I think the one that I've seen for the least amount of money, I think I saw one not too long ago for about $1,600.
Most of them.
If it wasn't for that due back purchase, I would have pulled the trigger on it.
Yeah. Was it in the States or was it out of China?
Actually, it was in France. He was in France. A guy in France had it.
The shipping would be horrible.
Yeah. It was, but it was free shipping on eBay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think part of the markup on the price was part of the shipping. So yeah.
That's cool. So what are these up here? Is what this is? John Wayne? Is that?
No. Yeah. That's Zombie Hunter. That's yeah. You remember the movie Zombie Hunter? That's Tallahassee. That's Tallahassee from Zombieland.
John Wayne.
Yeah.
Look at John Wayne.
It can't be John Wayne. What John Wayne can look like that? Sorry,
this is John Wayne.
You guys have never seen Woody Harrelson in Zombieland?
No, I haven't watched Zombieland.
Oh yeah, it's a great movie, dude.
I haven't.
I haven't seen it.
I think you would like it.
I heard it's hilarious though.
It is. It's funny. Yeah. It's actually really good. Bill Murray's
in it. Did they do a sequel too? They did a
they did a sequel.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And it's funny. I think Emily Stone, she's in it. Is that her name? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Emma Stone.
Oh, Emma Stone. Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yep. That centerpiece right there is really. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. That the top one just below. That's actually John Wayne right there, Michael, and on that bike.
Is it really?
No, that's actually John Wayne.
That's so weird.
Is that? I think it's from the movie Rio Bravo.
Yeah. Did you send a description to Gabe when you were sending pictures? Because how would he?
That's so weird. I know who John Wayne is. Come on.
Damn, Matt, that Terminator figure right there. I want him too.
That's a DX figure also, Michael. And that's probably one of my prized possessions too. I love that Terminator. And that's my favorite outfit that he's in. The one that he beats the crap out of the punks and takes their outfit. And
your clothes. Give them to me.
Yeah. The top one right there, that is a really cool piece. They only made 1,000 of those, and it's a concept piece of Buck Rogers from the 38 radio show that they used to do. Yeah, and so that was like kind of like the cover art of that show, and so they made a piece. I think it's called from Coo Models, COO Models. It's called Coo Models Make It.
Oh.
I don't see a lot of them. Like I said, only 1,000 of them were made. And on that piece, I got really, really lucky on that piece. There was a gentleman that came into my work. He knew that I was a collector, that I collect 1/6 scales. And he had that piece for about 10, 12 years, and he had no use for it. And he asked me if I wanted it, and he gave it to me. And that's actually, that's actually a really expensive piece. You can't find that for cheaper than $400 or $500.
Who makes that Clockwork Orange piece right here?
That is Bruce Lee.
No,
the one on the
I'm trying to remember who made that. Have you ever read the book Clockwork Orange or watched the movie?
I watched the movie. Yeah.
I love that that's Alex DeLarge, and it's actually a really cool figure. The cuffs on his wrist have the eyeballs on it. He's got the cod piece. It's a really cool figure. I can't remember the name of the company.
Does he have like the little the mask?
Yeah. I have all the accessories. It has the mask with the long nose on it. It comes with the penis chair that he sits on.
Yeah. Joseph's family is watching. Okay.
It's pop culture. It's art.
Right.
The one in the middle is the one from Sin City. That's Bruce Willis from Sin City. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's actually a really cool piece too. It's the jacket is all wired, so you can like flare it out, so it looks like it's like wind's blowing it or something.
Yeah, that's really cool. Those are really unique.
Evan says Redmond Toys.
Yeah,
I do like, and that's the thing, Joseph. I don't so much just like the piece just because I like the movie. Sometimes I'll just collect the piece because I find the piece incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
And so like there's maybe you'll get to it here shortly, but there are some Ashley Wood pieces that I have too that they're so weird. They're like post-apocalyptic kind of looking pieces, and they're so weird and so bizarre looking, but I like them just because of that, and so I bought them.
That's great. That's the Hot Toys
Optimus Prime. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
That's a really cool one too. You can open up
these ones.
See, there they are. The two in the middle.
Mm.
The one on the top one, and then the one just below that. I just picked those up because I thought they were just weird and cool. Those are Ashley Wood. Yeah.
Do you have any way to make those bigger?
I know. I'd love to see closer.
Zoom in a little bit.
You know what? Not on this. I wish I would have downloaded them. That's why. Like I think.
Yeah.
So it doesn't give me the option to.
Oh.
I wasn't able to take individual pictures of those yet, and I should have. I don't know why I didn't, but those are. But they are cool. The one below, the second to the last one, that's from the new Mad Max film.
Mm.
Oh,
so yeah, mm-hmm, yeah.
From, the one with Tom.
Yep, Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then those are Game of Thrones.
I love the Game of Thrones.
Yeah, 3A makes those. Yeah. They do a really good job. Actually, that 3A is a really good company. They make excellent. They make stuff that the Hot Toys just they don't license. But yeah.
Yeah, they've made their Transformers figures are amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, they engineered their Transformers really well.
Man, Joseph, you're the collector guru when it comes to knowledge, bro. I've never known anybody, Joseph, that I could ask you a question. I don't care if it's what it is, what topic of collection of toys, man, and statues or whatever, man. And
I know.
It's hard to believe that you even have time to go to work.
Well, that's where I've said that before. I was kind of praising Gabe for the sophistication of his room, and yours and Michael's for how inspiring you are, and that. But Joseph is he has got so much information and knowledge about so many different aspects in the collecting world that he's such a good source of information to refer to when you're wanting to either feel safe about a product, information about a product, somebody who makes a customizer, if you're talking about studio models, who to trust, who not to trust, who he's been involved with that he's, gives his thumbs up to. I mean, he's a book of knowledge that's invaluable. Yeah. And it's a resource that I feel very fortunate to be able to connect to whenever I need. It's refreshing.
Joseph, Joseph will tell you who sculpted it, what year is sold.
Yes.
I mean, Joseph.
But that's so reassuring when you're buying something like so expensive, and to know that you can have somebody that you can talk to that will give you that sense of confidence, saying, okay, that's a good piece. Don't feel bad about buying it. So.
And he's not a cocky prick. He's not.
He's not at all.
No,
man, I'm telling you, like I said, he's cooler in person than he is on video.
Plus, Joseph's a likable fella.
Yes.
Yeah.
That background piece right there, that is from Legacy Arts, and he is from Hamburg, Germany, and he's making me 3 other pieces. And they're all, that scale, 1/6 scale background pieces like that. And he does a really good job. And I sent Joseph a picture of some of the couple of the products that he's making for me, and he does a really good job. He does them rather quickly too. I mean, I think it was from the time I paid for it to the time it was shipped to me was like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, speaking of how nice Joseph is.
There it is. There. Yeah. So that is friendship fee number 1 right there. I couldn't help it. So when he started talking about studio scale models, and I, as you guys were talking about it, I was already scoping through stuff, and I saw that piece that you guys were talking about, and I said to myself that this is something that would be really cool in my room, and I like it. I think the concept piece, I love concept pieces anyways, because they fascinate me. And so when I saw that, it was probably 24 hours later I bought it. Same thing with the Beskar spear. I saw that Lee got that, and I was like, I have to have that.
Yeah. See, I'm not the only one costing you money, Matt.
No, you have your little minions doing it for you.
Jeez. And you bought that one, right?
I did. I couldn't help it, man. I couldn't help it.
Is that from the original Blade Runner?
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know how screen accurate that is, but it's probably the one that I feel like and Joseph feels like has been built the best.
That's Manasuke. That's the Hollywood Collectibles Group.
Yes.
Right.
Yep. Gabe, what do you think about that, dude? Would you? Dude, that's.
Dude, I would definitely get that to display. Yeah. I would probably display it somewhere in my house though, like where my wife. She's gonna like all of a sudden look in a bookshelf and like, what's up with this gun?
No, Gabe. That's for when guys start to come knock on the door for your daughter.
There you go.
And pull out and turn on the
little cleaning your gun.
Oh man,
you got to finish seeing the movie first.
I watched it. That one I'm done. All right, I got. The next ones are Aliens.
This piece right here is from Metamorphic Customs. Yeah. And they're the ones doing my Mando pieces for me, my Mando scenes for me. And this one will be coming in the next couple months. But it's a beautiful piece. He did a really good job. He's an excellent customizer, 3D artist. He does a really good job. Yeah. All those canisters and everything are all 3D printed. The door is 3D printed. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Gabe, that's a good. Albert, that's a pretty good. That's a tough question, but it's a topic. Go ahead and read that out.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about limited space? Even 3,000 square feet fills up quickly. You guys keep storage or sell items?
I have a hard time selling items. Yeah. I don't know why it's so hard for me to give up a piece to buy another piece. I know a lot of people, it's easy for them to do it. They don't get attached as easily, but for some reason that's probably one of the hardest things for me to do is to give up something to buy something.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. I've never actually sold anything in my life.
Yeah. Those are that's the Cantina room that
Oh my
that
gosh.
he's building. Yeah,
Ass, dude.
yeah. Those are going to be. I cannot wait to get those. Though that's going to be a signature piece in my room too. And he does a really good job with the painting and the weathering on that. They're really cool. He's really talented. You should really look into it if you want to upscale your scale collection.
Damn, I need, after the show, I need that contact, bro.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah,
I want that
they
immediately.
make amazing.
Yeah, his name is Jens Schlater, and he lives in Hamburg, Germany. He doesn't mind me saying his name. I already told it that I was going to be on, so he's okay with that. And he lives in Hamburg, and he does this on the side, and he does beautiful work.
Legacy Arts, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Forgive me, because I know me and Gabe have talked about this. I brought it up to him, but I know, Matt, you're going to know what I'm talking about. There's a company in, I don't know what they've got going on. They actually reached out to me, which was, I was honored for him. So they're somewhere up in Germany, and they're creating a unbelievable, of course, the life size scale of he bought this old crappy facilities and fixed up the facilities, and then it's called something Post. I know anybody watching, please let me know. It's Post something or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, they have an unbelievable.
Isn't it Outpost One?
Outpost One. Check it out, guys. Outpost One. Have you seen it yet, Matt?
I have not. Tell me about it.
Okay, so first off, like that little, they've got a full scale, 1/6 scale, complete cantina diorama of the exterior and the interior. They've got a 1/6 scale Millennium Falcon, like the Hot Toys guys did.
Oh my God!
Check this out. They've got a badass 1/6 scale Slave One, bro.
Really?
Yep.
I'm not kidding, dude. And yeah, so and they're doing that. So it's amazing what they're doing. It's like they're building their own little Star Wars museum.
It's called Outpost.
Outpost One. Thank you. See, there's Joseph again with his. I know we talked about it, Joseph. But holy knowledge. I mean, it's unbelievable. You got to check it out. It's they don't have too many views. They just did a life-size snow speeder. It's amazing.
Oh, wow. I will definitely check that out, because that is right up my alley. I would love to see a 1/6 scale Slave One. That makes me enormous.
Yeah, Gabe. Let's whip it out, Gabe.
I'll just let me just send it real quick.
The detail on that diorama, Matt, is just, I love it.
Yeah, he did a really good job.
Yeah, definitely.
It really makes the figures pop. It gives them a sense of realism that just standing them on their own can't give.
Yes. Check this out, bro. Can you blow it up at all or no? It's okay though.
I don't know.
We can still see it.
Here, I'm gonna skip to the good part.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
How does he have? What does he have? Like a warehouse?
Oh yeah, it's a huge facility. Yeah. Check it out. Watch.
Oh my God!
Yep.
Look at that. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's nothing. Keep watching.
Yeah. One. Jeez.
Oh my Lord! That is.
It's a lot of money in wood.
Yeah. I wonder if they have the same kind of lumber issues as we do here.
Well, I know, right? Check this out. Matt, watch this, Matt.
Oh, they don't have.
Look at that, bro.
Oh, wow.
That's tattooing.
That's crazy.
And remember, those are for 12-inch figures.
Do you remember which one's the one where they actually show it?
I don't, bro. It's
that is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, wait till you see you see the finish.
I don't think that one shows it, Michael.
Okay, now it'll be one of the earlier videos. It'll be like part 2 or something, because they were showing them taking, like rolling out the Slave One.
Mhm.
Like there's the life size right there, the life size snow speeder. Yeah, that's the village that they bought. See the village? It was like a before.
Jesus.
You know, they do some incredible stuff there in Germany.
That's the place right there.
Oh, this
Yeah,
is,
the
I think
warehouse.
this is it right here.
Um, My wife and I went there in 2016, and we actually went to this place called the Miniatures Museum. They have the entire like city of Berlin replicated in a warehouse in miniature.
Oh, that'd be awesome to see.
I would love to see that.
With moving cars on the highways, and
Holy
I mean, it's
crap.
just incredible. Airplanes coming
Look at
in and
that.
out of the airport. I
Isn't that
have
cool?
some
Look.
pictures I'll send.
Well,
you.
I'm absolutely impressed with this. This is very beautiful.
That is
I've never seen this. This is
Look at
great.
that signature. Look at that. The signature little.
Ugh.
Yeah, look, and they built their own. That
They built their own Rancor.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really did a good job with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They,
Wow.
Look, here you go,
Oh.
bro. 1/6.
Oh my god!
Oh.
That's a 1/6 scale.
Oh.
Oh,
I like the wheels.
To get it around. Look at that, dude. The Bantha.
oh.
I want a Bantha so bad. I know there's a guy. I think Joseph told me a guy that's
Yeah.
making a Bantha.
I was gonna, Joseph,
Yeah, he
doesn't
makes
that
them
look
in
a lot
1/6
like that
scale.
one you showed me?
Yeah, it looks like that.
Yeah,
And he's
Look,
in
that's a
Europe.
sideshow. Look, that's a sideshow dewback.
Oh,
that looks like Legacy Arts.
wow, that's beautiful.
Hey, go back just right now. You
Oh,
showed the
geez.
Falcon. Show the Falcon right there when it's done.
It's coming. It's coming right now.
Okay.
There it is.
Oh, look at that!
To that. Oh,
Jesus,
That thing is huge.
that's
I am
beautiful.
impressed all to hell. That is,
Beautiful.
Look at that
Wow.
thing. Dude.
and he built that.
Hey, Michael.
Yeah, he's
Michael,
putting
you
some
got
money in there.
you got 20 more acres.
Yeah.
I know, right?
But you know what's so crazy is like Tom at Regal. You know, it's like you got to have the crew to be able to put all that together. You know, I mean, I've got a lot of ideas, but man, it's hard to do it all myself. You know what I mean?
Well, it looks like they have a huge crew there.
They do. I don't know what I don't know what's up with that, man. But I would love to go over there and see it. That's been one of my bucket list things is to go to Germany.
Yeah.
So is that eventually going to be like a museum?
Yes.
You can come
Oh,
in and
yeah.
like and pay and go and see stuff and everything. Is that what
Yes.
that's going to be? Okay.
Yep. So look them up on YouTube, dude. Their views are starting to jump a little bit, you know. But like I said, I was honored when they reached out to me about my personal collection, and
Yeah.
I anyways.
I mean, you have a iconic collection, Michael. I mean, my God, it's
Thank you.
that's another piece that I had ordered
Beautiful.
through Legacy Arts.
That's-
And yeah, so I was planning on putting my next to my my
Is that's the Rancor door, right? That's the
yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna put it right next to the Rancor as soon as I get it, and put the Gamorrean guard in front of it.
There you go, dude.
That's cool.
Awesome.
That's
Yep.
cool. That's really cool.
Hopefully, it won't be too long before I get that piece. That I think, yeah. Yep, there you go, right there. Yeah,
Magnet.
and I did. I ordered those immediately after. I saw when you guys had the show with Joseph talking about the props and everything, and those popped up. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get that. So I bought.
Good influence.
I know, right? There's
That's cool. You have all
those.
the bounty hunters there with the
Yep.
Han. That's
But wait,
You know what
we're
sucks,
not done.
oh
Matt, I want to get that thing, dude, with the Greedo and the table and. But I don't
You'll like
have
it,
to-
Michael. It's really cool. It displays awesome, and I can't wait to receive it. You need to get it for your room. Yeah. Definitely.
Well,
Yeah.
if you don't mind, I mean, it's gonna. I'll find out anyway. What's the price on it?
$900.
Okay.
$900 for that. I think it was $999 change, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Very cool.
He also is doing a Jabba Palace. So everything from the so he's got his throne. So everything you see from around the background and above, he's building. I showed a picture of Joseph that too.
yeah.
I think I sent it to you.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's just too big for you, right, Joseph?
I just don't have the space.
That's what I mean. I'm
Yeah.
being serious, Matt. You think I'm being smart ass, and I'm not.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. I mean,
Yeah.
the thing is, I see a lot of people's collections, you know, like yours, Gabe's, and you know, it's amazing because I have a lot of space here. If all I collected was Star Wars, it would be great. But because I have all this other stuff, what you see behind me is the Star Wars section. So I'm kind of limited on the, you know.
So guys, we're not done yet going through Matt's collection. So obviously we saw the Star Wars stuff. We saw some of the kind of just Indiana Jones, random stuff. Now we're going to get into the Marvel stuff. So
here you go, Michael, just for you.
I want some. Hey, Matt, I want to get some close-ups personally of your indie stuff. Of those.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I
love that stuff.
When we get off the show, we can exchange emails and stuff. And then
absolutely.
Check this out. Look how cool that's displayed.
Dude, that's awesome.
That's beautiful.
So that was always planning on being. So that room that you're seeing right now, that's going to be the Star Wars room. Oh. So what? So yeah, all that's is blank. You know, so it's all going. So everything that's in this room that you're looking at right now will be in the room that I'm sitting in now, and everything that's in this room now will be in that room when I'm done with it. That's the bigger of the rooms. Yeah. So that is a really cool piece. It's the Spider-Man from the video game. And so those lights are blue lights, and when they hit the figure right, they pull up a pattern on his chest.
Oh, that's
that cool. You can't see when it's and it's really cool. So it sort of gives the spider sense feeling that he gets in the movies, like when he gets a spider sense, that electrical thing kind of goes over his body. It gives you that illusion.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's actually really cool how they did it.
Is it cloth? Is it?
It's so they actually stitch the figure inside of that suit. So the suit will be split, and they'll stitch the figure inside, and they'll seam it up on either one side or the other. Sometimes you can see the seam, and sometimes they do it really good, and you can't. But everything, all the special effects is superimposed inside that suit. And I'm not sure how they stitched it in with it, but when the light hits it, it reflects and it pulls images that you can't see when the light is off. It's really cool. Yeah. Yep. There's
wow.
So those cabinets that you see right there, those will stay. Those are the only things in that room that will stay. They are getting glass fronts for them. And all those bottom I have a row of bottom cabinets that look like the one that's sitting there in the corner. All of them will be taken out, so there'll be much more space. So I'll leave the ones on the wall and the ceiling. That everything else from the floor down will be gone.
Where are those bases? Are those the same ones that Lee has?
Those actually, I found on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh,
and it was a guy that had some sort of like rock polish business where he would display and polish rocks and make different arts out of them and display them. Cool. And he was going, and it just happened he was going out of business. So I picked those up. Yeah.
Hey, just real quick, I just want to jump in and say something to Sean that's watching. Thanks for your comment, Sean. Oh, Sean. And I want to be really clear, like what you're saying about small, because we don't focus just on gigantic collections. Obviously, it's freaking awesome and badass to see these huge collections because you get to see things like it's safe to say I've got a pretty big collection. But I'm seeing stuff in this collection that I'm just in awe over. But I want to be real clear to say that when you see Gabe's collection, respectfully to Gabe, he's got a lot of money in collection, but he is very limited on space. And that's a perfect example of how you can display a beautiful setup in a small little area. So
100%. Yeah, this space is small. It may look bigger, obviously, because it goes all the way up and all that. But no, it's a tiny office.
The way you construct constructed it though, Gabe, it gives it a sense of a larger dimension.
Right.
Yeah.
The way you put it together, and it doesn't look as crowded or as it might seem when you're in there at all. It's almost perfectly put together.
And yeah, it's definitely it doesn't feel crowded once you're in here. I think it's like, and that's why it was very specific, very thought out. I really kind of, really thought that out. But anyways, I did a Sean, if you go onto my like my personal YouTube channel, I did a video on displays, and I think I might have even shown Matt's picture or a picture of your room in there somewhere. But there's a lot of different pictures and a lot of things. But no, yeah, we're not about. It's not only about huge collections. We love the collections that are beautifully displayed.
That's right.
That's what it's about.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yep. I don't think volume should matter. Obviously we all collect what we like and we accumulate things, and sometimes it becomes volume, but as long as that you give it some sort of respect, you give it the presence that it deserves, you can make a small collection look really beautiful. It doesn't have to take up a whole room. It really doesn't.
The most beautiful collections I've seen are ones where they've taken a few select pieces, put them together in such a way that they look like you're looking at an exhibit in a museum.
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful.
Dude, you said it perfectly, Joseph, because I swear to Jesus, last night was my conversation that you just mentioned. I was talking to Lee about that. Just having those few, and I said it earlier on in the show, but just having those few little key pieces, and because I look around here and it's like, I've got so much that I forget that I can't, I don't even, of course I enjoy it, but you know what I'm saying, respectfully, it's like hard to pinpoint and enjoy that one piece, and it's like.
And the problem is, like, when I started buying, for example, I'd buy a piece like a helmet, and then I would buy, like, let's just take, for example, Vader's helmet, and then you get Vader's lightsaber hilt. And I think to myself, okay, this would be great. I'll put the helmet with the hilt, and then, let me get his chest box and put it right there. And then let me put the Hot Toys figure next to it. And all of this, in your mind, it's working out great. But then pretty soon you have so many things that it no longer looks good, right? It just looks cluttered. No. And so it really takes a lot of thought to, and time and effort to, and an eye to be able to do that well.
And Sean, yeah, that's true. And Sean, thank you for your second comment. And absolutely, you're super classy, and what you say is legit. But the bottom line is people that watch Collection Wars knows what we're about, what our show's about. It's all about positive, not who's got the biggest, baddest. And anybody, and if you've watched our show for a while, you'll know that. So keep watching, Sean. We appreciate you, bro.
And I think part of the point of this is to show people everybody's, how people do things differently. So you get ideas of how you want to do, certain things.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I've bounced ideas from all three of your guys' collections. I do it constantly. I always replay what I see in my head, and then I try to, not replicate it, but as a reference, to how I want to, express, what I got. It's nice to see other people who have collections that are so sophisticated and classy that, the inspiration is easy. It's not hard to find. It's it's the hardest part about it is trying to find the columns and the cabinets and everything to just bring it all together. I think that's the hardest part. The easiest part is seeing your guys' collections and then taking from it. It's.
And I think Sean mentioned here. He's mentioned it. So others that are new don't get intimidated, and that's also a good point. That's a very good point, because absolutely, somebody tuning into our channel for the first time, seeing these collections might be like, whoa, wait a second, but again, I think it's more about inspiration, right? Inspiring the collectors, getting into
it. And honestly, I think it's important to collect what you love, what you really find interesting, not just to get a piece because you see a lot of people that have it, or
Joseph tells you to buy it.
Or I buy it. Exactly. No, seriously, like as I've collected, I've kind of shifted my focus. I mean, you guys know from, when we talk, to things, I mean, things that I've wanted, that I focus, find the right artist to do exactly kind of what I want, and then, follow through with it. And sometimes it takes years to get what you want, but when you do, that piece is very special to you.
Yeah.
Sure.
That was very well said.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Look at this sculpt.
Is that a quarter scale sculpt, Matt?
No, actually, that's 1/6. That is, yeah. In fact, that was the one that Hot Toys offered. You could mail that back in because.
This is
Yeah, there was a lot of people that weren't happy with that head sculpt.
That's the 85, right?
Yeah, and I liked it. I did not send mine back. I kept it, and I know a lot of people did. For the exchange of I can't remember which head sculpt they were going to trade it with.
Well, I think they did a new help. Have you seen the new?
Did they do a whole new one? Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the new one?
No, I have not.
Okay, I'll send you a picture.
What the hell? Right? What the hell?
Well, because I knew I wasn't going to display him with the head sculpt anyways.
Right.
I wanted him. I wanted that with the mask. And that's all die cast. That's a heavy figure. It's really cool. But yeah, for some reason they did not like it. Did you exchange the head sculpt, Joseph?
I haven't yet because I got mine through Big Bad Toy Store, so everything is delayed, right?
Yeah.
So they told me they would contact me when it's time to do the exchange. But I saw the new head sculpt and it's amazing, so I'm probably going to do the switch.
Right on.
Yeah.
It surprises me after the bowcaster there that he's going to switch anything. Anyway. Come on, Joseph.
Hopefully I won't send it back and then Hot Toys will say, sorry, we're out of business. You're not. That'll be the icing on the cake.
That would be devastating.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh, that's a cool one.
Yeah, that's another video game concept, Spider-Man. Yeah. So they, of course they did the one from Infinity War with the spider claws, and so they did the video game version of it, and it pops. It's really nice. People really like that figure. That's my favorite one.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's from Spider-Man: Homecoming.
That's 47.
Yeah.
That's
did Joseph already try to convince you to buy the Queen Studio life-size dress?
Yeah, he did me up.
I'm not that cruel. I tried to convince you, Gabe, but not Matt.
I know.
And don't forget about me, bro. You try to hit me up on that.
What? He tried to get you to buy a Marvel piece?
Yes.
What?
He tried to
those quarter scale busts they do are absolutely incredible. I've seen some people that just have straight 1/1 scale statues of the Iron Man and the quarter scales of them, and the hours of work that must go into those. That must be incredible, because they are and the pieces speak for themselves. I mean, they're $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 pieces, and they're phenomenal.
Matt, do you have the original Iron Man outfit, the crappy one that he hand built?
Actually, I do. It should be in one of the pictures there.
That's a grill piece there. Too.
That's a really cool figure. They actually did two versions of it. They weren't happy with the original head sculpt when they did it, so they did a version 1 and they did a version 2.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys right now, I've just been inspired. My Haley is so humble. She's 12 years old, and she is, as Joseph well knows, and Gabe, and she's got these little plastic Walmart toys of the Marvel, and that's what's in her room now. We completely redid her room, and I'm gonna start hooking her up with this stuff. I tell her, hey, I'll buy you that Hulk Buster, from Sideshow. It's like $1,300, and it's a lot of money. She doesn't want it. She's like, this one's fine, Dad. And it's a $30 toy, and she plays with it.
You got to just buy it for her. And
that Hulkbuster is an incredible piece, Michael. That is probably one of Hot Toys' best engineered pieces that I've ever seen.
Is it still on sale through Sideshow?
You can buy the new one. Yep.
The new,
And you can find the old version secondary market. You're probably going to pay about $1,100-$1,200 for it.
Yeah. So the new one's
it's their masterpiece.
Like 1,300.
Yeah. Yep.
Is it ready to ship? Yes, sir.
Michael, they spent 2 years engineering it. It's an I mean, it's their masterpiece.
It doesn't come with Iron Man though, right?
You can fit.
Oh, okay.
You can fit the torso of a normal Iron Man inside of it.
Look how cool this
You
collection
fit
is.
the entire Iron Man figure inside.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I love Haley's collection. I mean, honestly, it's so cool that she does that. I like it every time I see it.
I want to cry right now.
That is cute, man.
Yeah.
Look at this.
I love that.
How cool this is.
See, that's the reason why. That's the reason why.
I already have pieces for my daughter, for my 6-month-old, that I'm planning to give her when she gets to a certain age, right? Because her middle name, we named her Leia as her middle name, so I already got her a lightsaber, a Leia lightsaber from from Corban.
Yeah, I've been giving my daughter too, like a bunch of I have a little deep top that it was just kind of random. So she said she wanted in her room, and I just started giving her I gave her a stormtrooper helmet and the little Groot, baby Groot.
Yeah.
She just loves that little collection.
That's really cool.
I think you'd be getting her a lot of Chewbacca stuff.
Yeah, you think, right? But I just don't own any Chewbacca. I just been gifting her stuff that she wants to display.
That's so cool.
Thinking 30 years from now, when she has her own family and she has a room like yours, you're gonna sit back and go, "I did that. That was hard." Yeah.
I'm sorry, sweetheart.
Well, I'm just waiting. I'm a girl dad. I have 3 girls, and none of them except for her kind of showed interest in Star Wars. So who knows? Maybe all this will just end up going to her anyways.
Her boyfriend's gonna be happy. She's like, "What do you want me for me or my collection?"
I know, right?
Hey, and just so you guys know, Joseph and Gabe, because I was really ragging on big time last night when I was watching that Loki thing. I just couldn't handle much more of the first 10 minutes. I did end up watching most of the first episode, and I'm sorry, it just didn't do it for me. But anyways, what I was going to tell you guys is I absolutely respect this side of I like all of the originals. Like the original Thor was awesome. The original Iron Man, awesome. I think all the Marvels and all that stuff, I thought it was all put together really fast. Before you knew it, when you just left the movie theater, the second one's already coming out, and it was just. And then the raccoon guy, it's really hard to keep, see a raccoon.
No, Guardians of the Galaxy is a great movie.
Oh my God! But anyways,
it's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be.
I know, but that's serious. We don't joke around.
They're comic books. They're not.
No, and this is the thing, Michael. I think part of the reason that they did that and that they were so successful is because they didn't take themselves very seriously. I mean, come on, when you think about it, superheroes, right? If superheroes were real, I mean, it is kind of ridiculous. So they really they played on that and they made it into something very enjoyable.
They humanized it.
Yeah.
They humanized the story. Especially, I love the part where when they make Thor into the Lebowski Thor.
Oh God!
And they go to find him, and he's fat, and he's in a sweater, and he's in his sweatpants, and he's drinking beer, and he's playing video games. They made a custom figure of that.
All right.
It looks great. Yeah.
Look at this. Look at that Indiana Jones piece. Yep. I know it's. I'm sure Michael's gonna ask you for pictures, but look at it. It has the idol.
That whole DX05 that comes with all that. It comes with the background, the idol, that stand, everything. And now that room you're looking at right now, that's the entirety of that. That will eventually be the Star Wars room, and you can see it a lot better if you go all the way to the back of that room. All those cabinets on the ground level are going to be gone.
Nice.
So this will be this is all going to be regutted and painted. I'm going to put panelings. You know, all the lights will be done. It's going to look good. So but right now it's going to be a mess for a while.
Matt,
it looks good.
Is that room larger?
That's the center room between the two rooms. So that's the center room between the room I'm sitting in so if you go to the far end of that room and take a left, that's the Star Wars room. Okay. And so towards the chairs, if you take a left at the chair, that's my office.
So you're going to make this room the Star Wars room because it's
bigger.
The center room and it's big.
The center room. Yep. Yes. That's what it was intended for in the first place.
Right.
It just I haven't gotten there yet.
No.
Ronan.
Yeah, that's a really cool figure. I love that figure. And it's the way they did it too is that you can pose him without the hood and without the jacket and make it just look like Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a cool figure too. Captain Marvel. She came with another head sculpt, and it was just her, in just a plain head sculpt. So I put just jet fighter clothes on her and customized the figure out of the head sculpt.
Is Lee still watching? That's his favorite character. That's the advanced suit, Spider-Man. Yeah, from Far From Home. And that's actually a really cool figure too. They did a really good job of the stitching on that.
The body looked kind of weird looking.
A little bit. Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to be a teenage kid. So I mean, the only thing I don't like the neck. The neck, it looks long, but when he has the spider mask on, it looks a lot better.
Yeah.
That's the Endgame Captain America. Everybody have been waiting for this for about this was probably one of the longest POs to release that Hot Toys has ever done. Really? That was actually released in 2019 and just now got released for sale.
There's Joseph. I mean, there's Lee.
She's my girlfriend.
Captain Marvel or Brie Larson? That's the question.
That's a cool.
Yeah, so that figure, that's really cool. It comes with an intact shield and a broken shield. It comes with the hammer. It comes with 2 different head sculpts and all those facial expressions. It comes with 3 of them, so you can take the jawline to the nose off and replace it with different facial expressions.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love that picture. That's one of my favorite pictures that I've taken. Yeah, where I was right after I got that piece. So I posed it and I took the picture and I put it under the captions. I said something like, "Shut up, you little toad."
That's cool, man.
How long have you had that? How long? When did you get yours?
The bikes and the Scouts. I got those. I want to say 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I got mine like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
So there it is, guys.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all it is.
That's it. That's all.
That's it. Sorry, it couldn't have been a longer show. 3 hours.
Hey,
I didn't mind going long. I got nothing else to do.
I know Gabe would probably ask us at the end of the show, kind of maybe premature, but so for a lot of those pictures, if somebody wants to see this collection, where can they go find this and maybe get some little bit more details?
I have much better close-up pictures on my Instagram account. So if you go to at Deathblade443, you'll see a much better, broader pictures of individual pics that I've done. I sent Lee, or I sent Gabe more broader. Yeah, I probably should have taken more time to take individual pictures, but but on my Instagram you should be able to see more of them. I usually do, like, right when I get it, I'll take 5 or 6 different real close-ups and post them. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for sharing them. I mean, again, I think Hot Toys are one of those ones where I'm not as familiar with them either, right? I just never really. I don't know. I've always just gotten into the life-size stuff. Yeah. And, but from what I'm hearing, it's super addictive, obviously.
It is. I mean, it's a huge transition from unarticulated figures to 32 points of articulation. And the thing about the difference between statues and 32 points articulation is you can make the pose however you want with a statue. That's how it is. Right. You're going to get the pose and that's it. And I love statues, and don't get me wrong. If I could afford to do both of them at the same time, I would, because I have love for both. But the thing that I do like about the 1/6 scales is that, every 4 or 5 months, if I feel like it, I can switch up how they look. Yeah. And I think that the quality of them is good enough to hold up against other high-end collectibles. And I would never try to compare them to the cost and the workmanship that goes into like studio models and one-offs and stuff like that. But for a large production piece, that it really is not a toy. It is a collector's item. You don't play with these things. Yeah. They're really, really well made, and for the price, you're getting an incredible product that only increases in price as the only ones that have really gone down in price are the prequels, or excuse me, are the sequels. Thank you. Yeah. Yes.
They produced
all the rest. It might actually go back up later, right? Once people can't find it.
Right, exactly. But the OTs, they triple in price. I mean, as soon as they're done being in production, you might as well tap another $200 on top of that if you want one. So there's a lot of people, it's not really a turf war between guys who collect statues and guys who collect 1/6 scales, but they kind of banter back and forth with each other about whose product is better and stuff, and who's it's funny. It's how people are sometimes. It's just they get on and they try to back their product and which one's better or not. But I feel like they deserve the same kind of recognition as a statue does, because they are incredibly engineered, and like I said, they keep getting better and better. From the time that Hot Shows and Sideshow first made figures to now is leaps and bounds with the way that they do facial recognition. Look, here's a perfect example. Not too long ago, I was taking a picture of. I wanted to say it was either Jin Urso, or I think it was Jin Urso, and I did a facial picture of it for a friend of mine, and my Facebook was trying to what do you call it when they face recognize something and put a name to it? It was trying to tag it. It was trying to tag my sculpture of Jin Urshu, and it's like, oh wait, that's a toy. It's not a real person. That's how realistic they're getting, and they phenomenal job. The guys, the painters for Hot Toys are really talented. Yeah. And sometimes they get it right and they nail it, and every once in a while they miss one, but to the most part they do really good work. Yeah. And it's a hell of a good product for its price, and for collectors who can't afford to buy one replicas. It's a nice substitute.
Well, not only that, but like the dioramas too, right? It's the only kind of collectible that gives way to that and allows you to do that. You can't do that with the quarter scale statues. You can't do it with life size, obviously. But
they're fun. I find myself, I'll come downstairs and I'll be cleaning the glass and I'll be dusting my figures, and then I'll switch the poses around, and it's fun. I'll spend a couple hours down here doing that, and I just enjoy it. It's a great pastime to have.
I did that once, Matt, with my DX Joker, the Heath Ledger Joker, and I got it, and I was so excited. That's one of the ones I took out of the box, and I was posing it, doing some stuff, and I was probably in the room for 45 minutes or so, and I was on the floor, with all this, and then my wife walks in and she just sees me, and I look up at her with this action figure and all this stuff on the floor, and she just looked at me and just shook her head like, oh my God, I married a child.
She's like, Joseph, when you're done playing with your toys, dinner's ready. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like Spaceballs, where he's like,
yeah, exactly.
Right? Sorry, Michael, you wouldn't know this reference.
No.
But
No.
Hey, Spaceballs Michael, Spaceballs is actually a really good parody of Star Wars.
It is.
I mean,
to watch it, Michael.
If you can let go of your seriousness side about Star Wars and just sort of relax your mind and just watch this, it's actually really funny.
It's funny.
It's really hard. I don't know why, but it's just on a serious note. I've tried to like kind of, and it's just like I can't even believe Lucas let this even happen.
So hurt about it.
Sorry, dude.
Oh man.
May the Schwartz be with you.
I know.
Right.
That's funny. But guys, well, thank you again. I know somebody mentioned it's almost 1 a.m. in
Is it really?
Yeah, on the East Coast, it's almost 1. So we'll cut it. It's 3 hours. It's been an amazing time, Matt. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been
thank you guys. It was an absolute. I never expected to be invited on this show, and just to be, offered the invitation was an honor. And I've watched this every single episode, and I really enjoy you guys. I enjoy your guys' conversations, the knowledge, the information that you give out to the community. I think you do a great job of all of this, of getting the community together and seeing different collections and appreciating different collections. You guys do a really good job, and I felt incredibly honored to be on the show. So thank you guys.
Thank you for those kind
words. It's great
words.
to be here with you, Matt.
And Matt, you're part of us now. So you're
I appreciate that. So I don't have to spend another $3,500 to be your guys' friends.
No, we're not like this. Yeah, we're definitely not.
We're not
okay, good, because I was a little worried there.
Although once you and Mike start talking, and
I have a feeling that he's going to cost me a little bit more money. But you know what? I'm okay with that because, I would love to dive into Michael's world every once in a while and maybe explore that part of the collecting too, because it hands down to your collection, man. It's impressive.
I have a feeling you're gonna make Michael spend money more than he is out.
I hope so. I hope I can make somebody spend some money.
Matt, you reached out to Joseph, and so you are interested in studio collection.
I am. That was the first conversation we had. You did it. You mesmerized
studio
me.
collection is what you need.
It didn't take much.
All right,
guys. Thank you again, Michael. Joseph. Any kind of final thoughts?
Just, I say this on every show. The best part of this hobby is getting to meet wonderful people like Matt. And I'm so grateful that you reached out to me from the show and that we were able to get together and that we're friends. And it's great to actually have a friend who's not, half the country away, and that that we can hang out and do stuff, and I'm looking forward to that.
Me too, man. I am too. I like I said, I really appreciate the friendships that I've made on this. They seem more real than some of the ones that I've had lifelong friends with, and I don't know if it's just because of the connection. Obviously, that has a lot to do with it. But you guys are really cool guys, and when are you going to find a casino worker, a doctor, an attorney, and a business owner all getting together in a forum and talking about Star Wars? It just doesn't happen.
Sounds like a start of a joke.
So if something like this can bring that kind of diversity together, and you find some sort of common commodity, you find some sort of common interest in that, and you become friends. That's great. That's what friendship's all about. You find common interests, you like that person, you meet them, and then the next thing you know, man, you're talking to them on a daily basis, and it turns into a lifelong friendship. I never would have expected that, and I owe that to you guys. That was probably, and like Joseph said, that was the most special part about all of this. Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, thank you. And Michael, any final thoughts?
Yeah, man, thank you, Gabe. So first off, our shows are always, awesome, and you learn so much, whether it's on the collection or whatever. And on a serious note, Joseph, you couldn't be more right about his character and how he is as a human being. But I will tell you, I do absolutely appreciate you sharing such a humbling story with what you went through with your wife.
Absolutely.
And I don't know many people who could ever deal with
I
something.
appreciate that, man. It's much easier to talk about now. It's better to talk about it, I think.
Of
So
course.
it was hard before, but now it's something that I can talk to anybody about and not, want to turn on the gas or anything.
But the bottom line is, it meant a lot that you shared that private, humbling story with us on Collection Wars.
Well, you made me feel comfortable to do that. So yeah, thank you guys.
Sounds good. Gabe?
Yeah, no, again, that Matt, I'm telling you, I'm sure that's for us, it's humbling again for you to open up like that. And again, I think for our viewers, it's inspirational, especially, kind of knowing that you had, this huge collection, and then you kind of restarted, and kind of the ties and how you use the collecting world and the friendships and all that to cope kind of what you're going through.
It was very therapeutic. It was incredibly therapeutic.
See, it really does give me goosebumps, because that is inspiring, and I'm so glad that you're on the show, and I'm so glad that we now can, you're part of this friendship, and you're part of this little group, that we got going, and you're welcome back anytime, Matt, anytime at all. So, and I'm sure you will. I'm sure we're gonna
I would be more than happy to come on anytime you guys need an extra face. Anytime you need somebody to fill in a spot, you let me know. I'll figure out a way to make it work. So
I'm going to tell you what's going to be kick-ass is when we're all our viewers that stay tuned with us every Saturday evening till 1 o'clock in the morning. I can't wait till we can all meet up in one place, and holy shit, is that going to be a good time.
I think it should be at your place, Michael, because you got the biggest place.
And we'll pick you with my shit. Don't touch me. This is my stuff. Don't touch it.
Yeah, right.
If you remember that movie in Stripes? So if you touch my stuff, and I'll kill you.
Yeah.
Lighten up, Francis.
Exactly. I'm just kidding. I'm really not.
No, yeah, man. So one day, I'm sure we'll all be together, and it'll be great. Hopefully, yes. Star Wars Celebration. Hopefully, everyone kind of makes some arrangement, get some tickets, and maybe we could all meet up there. So
that is a very, very strong possibility. So absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Well, everybody, thank you again for hanging out with us this Saturday. Again, like always, thank you. And we'll see you again next Saturday. Yeah. Have a good night, everybody.
You guys have a good night. Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you.